Want a curved screen, high refresh rate gaming, and don't want to compromise? Well, the ASRock Phantom Gaming 27-inch 240Hz curved monitor is here to deliver. In the box, we've got our power cable, HDMI and DisplayPort cables, and a rugged stand. And finally, the ASRock Phantom Gaming monitor with an impressive 27-inch curved 1500R VA display. This makes for quite the immersive experience, especially in competitive games like Valorant, which demand higher refresh rates. Diving into the specs, this monitor goes up to 1080p, sports a blazing fast 240Hz refresh rate for silky smooth gameplay, and HDR10 support for vibrant lifelike colors. It covers 90% of the DCI-P3 and 113% of the sRGB color spaces, making those visuals pop at a max brightness of 300 nits. This is great for picking out enemies in low visibility situations. It's got a rapid 1 millisecond response time with MPRT mode to keep motion blur in check for perfect aim, and dual 2-watt speakers built right in just in case you don't have your headphones on you. For connectivity, this monitor is equipped with two HDMI 2.0 ports, one DisplayPort 1.2, and a headphone jack. The stand is solid with swivel and tilt adjustments, but there is no height adjustment. However, it does support VESA mounting if you want to customize your setup. The monitor also sports ASRock's low blue light technology, so those long rank up sessions are a little easier on your eyes. Additionally, FreeSync Premium is also present on this monitor, preventing screen tearing at unstable frame rates. Overall, this monitor does exactly what it says on the box. Super fast, high refresh rate gaming for titles like Valorant to give you the competitive edge you need. Today we've got something special for AMD users. The ASRock B650 Live Mixer motherboard. Packed with features and support for AM5 processors, this motherboard is a statement both visually and specs-wise. As an AM5 board, the ASRock B650 Live Mixer supports both AMD Ryzen 8000 and 7000 series processors and will continue to support all AMD CPUs until 2026. Whether you're upgrading or building a new rig, this motherboard has you covered. Power delivery is robust with a 14+2+1 phase power design, ensuring stable and efficient power distribution. For memory, it sports 4 DDR5 DIMM slots with support for 6400+ MHz speeds when overclocked. Expandability is key in any build, and the B650 Live Mixer shines with 3 PCIe 4.0x16 slots and an M.2 key E slot for Wi-Fi modules. Rear I/O is great with an HDMI and DisplayPort connector, 14 USB ports, out of which you get one 3.2 Gen 2 Type A port and a 3.2 Gen 2x2 Type C port. Those with blazing fast internet will be happy to see a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet port at the back. For audio files, it features 7.1 channel HD audio with the Realtek ALC897 audio codec and Nahimic audio enhancement. Whether gaming or watching movies, you can expect immersive audio quality. Storage solutions are top-notch with one blazing fast PCIe Gen 5x4 M.2 slot and 2 PCIe Gen 4x4 M.2 slots. Additionally, it also has two SATA 3 connectors for additional hard drives or SSDs. All in all, the ASRock B650 Live Mixer motherboard is loaded with features that make it a formidable foundation for any high-end PC. Whether you're a gamer, a content creator, or just looking for a powerful system, this motherboard checks all the boxes. Want a curved screen, high refresh rate gaming, and don't want to compromise? Well, the ASRock Phantom Gaming 27-inch 240Hz curved monitor is here to deliver. In the box, we've got our power cable, HDMI and DisplayPort cables, and a rugged stand. And finally, the ASRock Phantom Gaming monitor with an impressive 27-inch curved 1500R VA display. This makes for quite the immersive experience, especially in competitive games like Valorant, which demand higher refresh rates. Diving into the specs, this monitor goes up to 1080p, sports a blazing fast 240Hz refresh rate for silky smooth gameplay, and HDR10 support for vibrant lifelike colors. It covers 90% of the DCI-P3 and 113% of the sRGB color spaces, making those visuals pop at a max brightness of 300 nits. This is great for picking out enemies in low visibility situations. It's got a rapid 1 millisecond response time with MPRT mode to keep motion blur in check for perfect aim, and dual 2-watt speakers built right in just in case you don't have your headphones on you. For connectivity, this monitor is equipped with two HDMI 2.0 ports, one DisplayPort 1.2, and a headphone jack. The stand is solid with swivel and tilt adjustments, but there is no height adjustment. However, it does support VESA mounting if you want to customize your setup. The monitor also sports ASRock's low blue light technology, so those long rank up sessions are a little easier on your eyes. Additionally, FreeSync Premium is also present on this monitor, preventing screen tearing at unstable frame rates. Overall, this monitor does exactly what it says on the box. Super fast, high refresh rate gaming for titles like Valorant to give you the competitive edge you need. Today we've got something special for AMD users. The ASRock B650 Live Mixer motherboard. Packed with features and support for AM5 processors, this motherboard is a statement both visually and specs-wise. As an AM5 board, the ASRock B650 Live Mixer supports both AMD Ryzen 8000 and 7000 series processors and will continue to support all AMD CPUs until 2026. Whether you're upgrading or building a new rig, this motherboard has you covered. Power delivery is robust with a 14+2+1 phase power design, ensuring stable and efficient power distribution. For memory, it sports 4 DDR5 DIMM slots with support for 6400+ MHz speeds when overclocked. Expandability is key in any build, and the B650 Live Mixer shines with 3 PCIe 4.0x16 slots and an M.2 key E slot for Wi-Fi modules. Rear I/O is great with an HDMI and DisplayPort connector, 14 USB ports, out of which you get one 3.2 Gen 2 Type A port and a 3.2 Gen 2x2 Type C port. Those with blazing fast internet will be happy to see a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet port at the back. For audiophiles, it features 7.1 channel HD audio with the Realtek ALC897 audio codec and Nahimic audio enhancement. Whether gaming or watching movies, you can expect immersive audio quality. Storage solutions are top-notch with one blazing fast PCIe Gen 5x4 M.2 slot and 2 PCIe Gen 4x4 M.2 slots. Additionally, it also has 2 SATA 3 connectors for additional hard drives or SSDs. All in all, the ASRock B650 Live Mixer motherboard is loaded with features that make it a formidable foundation for any high-end PC. Whether you're a gamer, a content creator, or just looking for a powerful system, this motherboard checks all the boxes. Want a curved screen, high refresh rate gaming, and don't want to compromise? Well, the ASRock Phantom Gaming 27-inch 240Hz curved monitor is here to deliver. In the box, we've got our power cable, HDMI and DisplayPort cables, and a rugged stand. And finally, the ASRock Phantom Gaming monitor with an impressive 27-inch curved 1500R VA display. This makes for quite the immersive experience, especially in competitive games like Valorant, which demand higher refresh rates. Diving into the specs, this monitor goes up to 1080p, sports a blazing fast 240Hz refresh rate for silky smooth gameplay, and HDR10 support for vibrant lifelike colors. It covers 90% of the DCI-P3 and 113% of the sRGB color spaces, making those visuals pop at a max brightness of 300 nits. This is great for picking out enemies in low visibility situations. It's got a rapid 1 millisecond response time with MPRT mode to keep motion blur in check for perfect aim, and dual 2-watt speakers built right in just in case you don't have your headphones on you. For connectivity, this monitor is equipped with 2 HDMI 2.0 ports, one DisplayPort 1.2, and a headphone jack. The stand is solid with swivel and tilt adjustments, but there is no height adjustment. However, it does support VESA mounting if you want to customize your setup. The monitor also sports ASRock's low blue light technology, so those long rank up sessions are a little easier on your eyes. Additionally, FreeSync Premium is also present on this monitor, preventing screen tearing at unstable frame rates. Overall, this monitor does exactly what it says on the box. Super fast, high refresh rate gaming for titles like Valorant to give you the competitive edge you need. Today we've got something special for AMD users. The ASRock B650 Live Mixer motherboard. Packed with features and support for AM5 processors, this motherboard is a statement both visually and specs-wise. As an AM5 board, the ASRock B650 Live Mixer supports both AMD Ryzen 8000 and 7000 series processors and will continue to support all AMD CPUs until 2026. Whether you're upgrading or building a new rig, this motherboard has you covered. Power delivery is robust with a 14+2+1 phase power design, ensuring stable and efficient power distribution. For memory, it sports 4 DDR5 DIMM slots with support for 6400+ MHz speeds when overclocked. Expandability is key in any build, and the B650 Live Mixer shines with 3 PCIe 4.0x16 slots and an M.2 Key E slot for Wi-Fi modules. Rear I/O is great with an HDMI and DisplayPort connector, 14 USB ports out of which you get one 3.2 Gen 2 Type A port and a 3.2 Gen 2x2 Type C port. Those with blazing fast internet will be happy to see a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet port at the back. For audiophiles, it features 7.1 channel HD audio with the Realtek ALC897 audio codec and Nahimic audio enhancement. Whether gaming or watching movies, you can expect immersive audio quality. Storage solutions are top-notch with one blazing fast PCIe Gen 5x4 M.2 slot and two PCIe Gen 4x4 M.2 slots. Additionally, it also has two SATA 3 connectors for additional hard drives or SSDs. All in all, the ASRock B650 Live Mixer motherboard is loaded with features that make it a formidable foundation for any high-end PC. Whether you're a gamer, a content creator, or just looking for a powerful system, this motherboard checks all the boxes. Want a curved screen, high refresh rate gaming, and don't want to compromise? Well, the ASRock Phantom Gaming 27-inch 240Hz curved monitor is here to deliver. In the box, we've got our power cable, HDMI and DisplayPort cables, and a rugged stand. And finally, the ASRock Phantom Gaming monitor with an impressive 27-inch curved 1500R VA display. This makes for quite the immersive experience, especially in competitive games like Valorant, which demand higher refresh rates. Diving into the specs, this monitor goes up to 1080p, sports a blazing fast 240Hz refresh rate for silky smooth gameplay, and HDR10 support for vibrant lifelike colors. It covers 90% of the DCI-P3 and 113% of the sRGB color spaces, making those visuals pop at a max brightness of 300 nits. This is great for picking out enemies in low visibility situations. It's got a rapid 1 millisecond response time with MPRT mode to keep motion blur in check for perfect aim, and dual 2-watt speakers built right in just in case you don't have your headphones on you. For connectivity, this monitor is equipped with two HDMI 2.0 ports, one DisplayPort 1.2, and a headphone jack. The stand is solid with swivel and tilt adjustments, but there is no height adjustment. However, it does support VESA mounting if you want to customize your setup. The monitor also sports ASRock's low blue light technology, so those long rank-up sessions are a little easier on your eyes. Additionally, FreeSync Premium is also present on this monitor, preventing screen tearing at unstable frame rates. Overall, this monitor does exactly what it says on the box. Super fast, high refresh rate gaming for titles like Valorant to give you the competitive edge you need. Today we've got something special for AMD users. The ASRock B650 Live Mixer motherboard. Packed with features and support for AM5 processors, this motherboard is a statement both visually and specs-wise. As an AM5 board, the ASRock B650 Live Mixer supports both AMD Ryzen 8000 and 7000 series processors and will continue to support all AMD CPUs until 2026. Whether you're upgrading or building a new rig, this motherboard has you covered. Power delivery is robust with a 14+2+1 phase power design, ensuring stable and efficient power distribution. For memory, it sports 4 DDR5 DIMM slots with support for 6400+ MHz speeds when overclocked. Expandability is key in any build, and the B650 Live Mixer shines with 3 PCIe 4.0x16 slots and an M.2 Key E slot for Wi-Fi modules. Rear I/O is great with an HDMI and DisplayPort connector, 14 USB ports out of which you get one 3.2 Gen 2 Type A port and a 3.2 Gen 2x2 Type C port. Those with blazing fast internet will be happy to see a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet port at the back. For audiophiles, it features 7.1 channel HD audio with the Realtek ALC897 audio codec and Nahimic audio enhancement. Whether gaming or watching movies, you can expect immersive audio quality. Storage solutions are top-notch with one blazing fast PCIe Gen 5x4 M.2 slot and two PCIe Gen 4x4 M.2 slots. Additionally, it also has two SATA 3 connectors for additional hard drives or SSDs. All in all, the ASRock B650 Live Mixer motherboard is loaded with features that make it a formidable foundation for any high-end PC. Whether you're a gamer, a content creator, or just looking for a powerful system, this motherboard checks all the boxes. Want a curved screen, high refresh rate gaming, and don't want to compromise? Well, the ASRock Phantom Gaming 27-inch 240Hz curved monitor is here to deliver. In the box, we've got our power cable, HDMI and DisplayPort cables, and a rugged stand. And finally, the ASRock Phantom Gaming monitor with an impressive 27-inch curved 1500R VA display. This makes for quite the immersive experience, especially in competitive games like Valorant, which demand higher refresh rates. Diving into the specs, this monitor goes up to 1080p, sports a blazing fast 240Hz refresh rate for silky smooth gameplay, and HDR10 support for vibrant lifelike colors. It covers 90% of the DCI-P3 and 113% of the sRGB color spaces, making those visuals pop at a max brightness of 300 nits. This is great for picking out enemies in low visibility situations. It's got a rapid 1 millisecond response time with MPRT mode to keep motion blur in check for perfect aim, and dual 2-watt speakers built right in just in case you don't have your headphones on you. For connectivity, this monitor is equipped with 2 HDMI 2.0 ports, 1 DisplayPort 1.2, and a headphone jack. The stand is solid with swivel and tilt adjustments, but there is no height adjustment. However, it does support VESA mounting if you want to customize your setup. The monitor also sports ASRock's low blue light technology, so those long rank-up sessions are a little easier on your eyes. Additionally, FreeSync Premium is also present on this monitor, preventing screen tearing at unstable frame rates. Overall, this monitor does exactly what it says on the box. Super fast, high refresh rate gaming for titles like Valorant to give you the competitive edge you need.
What's up, Valorant lovers? Welcome to AMD Presents Back to College Cup Season 1, powered by ASRock, Acer, WD Black, and Portronics. I'm gonna be a host for today's evening, and alongside me is gonna be Aggressive. Aggressive, how are you doing, man?
Hey, I'm excited for this. We had a little bit of a long pause here because one of the players was having some problems. We were able to fix out the issue. They're now back in the lobby, and we are finally going to be presenting this entire tournament to you, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, today is going to be the lower bracket run. We already saw two of the upper bracket games. Sorry, not two. Two sets of the upper bracket games that already happened yesterday. So, yeah, now we're going to be witnessing the lower bracket run, the do or die situation that we were constantly talking about. Now that there's no safety net, players already know that it's either go big or go home. You need to make a choice here, and your team needs to be in the present. We're going to be jumping straight on down over to the prize pool, ladies and gentlemen. It is 1 lakh INR for the first place prize. The prize pool was bumped up to a significant margin. It went from 40k for the first place to 1 lakh.
Wow, I mean, high stakes game. That's a lot of money, too. That's very true. And champions are going to get 1 lakh. Second place winners are going to get 60,000, and third place 40,000 INR. I mean, here's the thing, right? High stakes. If you win, you get all. If you come to second or third place, you do get some kind of a chunky amount there, but it's not equal to 1 lakh, man. Come on, 1 lakh is like way too much.
Even if you split it amongst the 5 players, that's 25k each. That's a good amount of money that you can put into your pocket. But for now, we're going to be heading on down over into the format one more time to just walk you right through it. And I got to reiterate this, that the players that are here in this lower bracket one, they had to go through an open qualifiers. Going through open qualifiers, it's a lot of games, mind you.
Do that.
And players have really felt that pressure. It's been a journey for them, and they do not want this journey to end off a little bit too early. Grand Finals, of course, is going to be on the 22nd. Ladies and gentlemen, set your dates, set your calendar, don't forget to like and also hit the subscribe button to see exactly where we're going to be going live. But for today, we're also going to have 2 streams, so it's even more important that you do not miss out on this lower bracket action. In my opinion, as we jump on down over into the brackets, the lower bracket run is even more important than the upper bracket, because the teams that make it to the lower bracket, they play a lot more games and they have a chance to really figure out what's going wrong with the roster and finally go in for improvements.
That's one thing, right? Like, you have the safety net, but soon the safety net will run dry. So that's one thing which all the lower bracket teams are feeling at this point. The heat is on. It is going to be AR Junior and Laughtail who's going to go against each other today. And this is the first stream, so the first game is soon going to be commencing. It was a tough time. We're just holding up, seeing how the players are going to come in towards the servers, and that was the issue which just passed by. But right now, looking at today's schedule, it's AR Junior versus Laughtail, and the second game will be restreamed. So stay tuned and definitely be out there to look out for your following team and cheer them up. For the first game, it's going to be AR Junior versus Laughtails. So I'm very excited. I want to see how both the teams are going to be having that perfect synchronization. AR Junior, comparatively, is a very, new team. I mean, they have played like a couple or 3 tournaments, which I could recall really quick. And Laughtail, comparatively a new team, doing really well. But being in the lower bracket, I don't think so. That's one thing they would really like to talk about to others.
I wouldn't say it's that thing, right? Because Laughtail, from what we have seen, this roster is very much capable of going the distance and making it through to that upper bracket run, but we're just not physically capable of doing so. They played all 3 maps, mind you. This roster has the talent, they know what to do, but as we talk about the side of AR Junior a little bit more and their team, I don't think they have that same caliber, in my opinion at least. I'm purely basing it on the analytics from their game previously. AR Junior did lose out on a 2-0 goal line. So their team still requires a lot of, how do I put it? They require a lot more work to really make it through to that. Refinement, sorry. That's the word that I was looking for. Their team requires a little bit more refinement to get their setups done and prepared. And up against Laughtail, as we are going to be witnessing their roster, it's going to be difficult, because when a player is so individually skilled that even if you throw utility at them, they're not faced by it, what do you do to try and go up against them? You need to have your raw fundamentals of the game to a point where you can at least rely on it more than your other strategies. And if you look at a player like Simple, we already talked about him being that star player that can easily take over.
True that, true that. And that's one thing which I would really commend about Laughtail. I mean, the way they have been showcasing their performance. I believe that they can also do something very significant, and staying at the lower bracket is not actually their kind of a game. So I definitely want to look at them towards the upper brackets moving on. But yeah, going to the map veto, I definitely want to look at the maps which they have picked and what is the kind
True.
of arena they want to go ahead and set the tone with. The first map pick is going to be Ascent, the second one is Lotus, and the third one is Split. I mean, good picks altogether. I like it. Personally, I'm a big fan of Ascent, and especially a person whoever is holding an LMG right behind the wall. I mean, I would definitely be a big fan of them because it's a paper thin wall, it's a paper thin map, and penetration is like really good amount over here, and people really like to go ahead and exploit that. But yes, the first map definitely being Ascent. It's a good tone to set upon, and let's look at the agent picks as well.
One of the biggest differences I think both of these teams are gonna have is AR Junior prefer to go in for the tail, while for Off Tail they love to go in for much more reach-based synchronization plays. Now the thing is, when we originally saw this team, I didn't really see the reach perform as well as you would have expected. Black really didn't synchronize well with Simple. Simple was playing his own game, he was hitting his own shots, but that's pretty much it. It was a one-man show. It was not a show based upon utility. I'm really hoping that this is not going to be the case today again, because Simple, he had a phenomenal first half. The man dropped about 25 kills, if I recall properly, right on the first half when everyone else was just at like 3, 7, and 8 kills. That's how good he was initially. But then it just went down on a plateau, and he was just not able to bring himself back up. We're going to be jumping straight on down into towards the game because Simple's performance is something that we all want to see. But at the same time, I don't want to put that much pressure on the man. We have talked about this in the past, right, Azora, that one singular player, when all of the pressure is on him, if he's not able to perform, his confidence takes a nosedive down, and his teammates, if they're not there to pick him back up, it just basically means the team's going to lose because they have only one win condition and they have nothing to fall back upon.
Definitely, that does put the entire team in a pressurizing situation. Right now, currently, the entire aim is towards side B. B main, completely under siege. There comes the dash, Cryax just making things very simple, checking all the corners, but there you go. Zato opening things up, just holding it so well. Getting the second frag as well, but the third one, Swift is short, but it's alright, it's alright. Work is all done. It's a 4v3 and a post-plan scenario coming in real super simple. Man, what is this guy hitting? What is he eating today?
Simple's just a different beast on his own regard. The way that Laughtail just instantly ran in towards the side, didn't even give the opponents an opportunity to even go in for proper post plans. And that's the thing. I don't really understand why the members of ARJ had to make it their initiative to just have all of the players jump in towards the side. This is not something that you want to do, even when you don't get side control done early on. 3 members going into the side is more than enough. You need to have the other ones holding towards B main or even towards the side of lobby and towards switch, because it would, with everyone in the side, you're gonna be in a pretty tough spot, right? You're not gonna have that opportunity to extend yourselves out, have a little bit of breathing room, force your opponents to utilize utility a little bit earlier on, so that your players in the side have more of a easier time just holding down the line. Now, Laughtail, they have the advantage, they have the guns, but ARJ, I think they have a strategy in mind to take over this B side, or at least deal some damage in the process.
Placing swarm grenade.
They did try going ahead and exploiting side B, but last time it did not work, and this time, I believe, even if they stack it up, just because of the weaponry difference, that's one place where they cannot do anything about this entire situation. But still, trying their luck, hoping for things to change, things to unfold. They have brought in that, that bit of a buy as well for this particular round, force themselves to get this one. And if they do, well and good, very well spent is what I could say. But if they don't, then I believe that the economy is going to be in tatters.
So the instant rotation shows the opposite side, but ARJ playing for the long game here on an eco. Slight bit of questionable play coming out from them. Shy Guy has the paranoia enhanced and opt to go in for it.
30 seconds left.
With full control and a free side to play around with, the members of ARJ, they have a pretty good chance of winning this one out, Azora. If they do play their trades properly.
Definitely, they do have a good solid ground here. All 5 men alive. They can do something very significant, but there you go, Tightrope just trying to shatter the entire man count advantage which the entire team had. Slowly but steadily, they are surmounting, getting those frags. AR Junior just trying to do something very different. Went for a B approach and stepped all the way towards side A. And from there on, the execution was just perfect. I mean, this is the kind of team which I wanted to see. I mean, I don't know how this team is even in the lower brackets. I mean, if they put together such kind of an act, definitely they have to be in the upper brackets. But I guess the mistakes, they were surmounted, and right now they just want to make things perfect.
Another big thing, Azora, is when they made that push towards the B side, right? They made no noise that would tell LTE that they had guns in their hands. They went in for a force fight. Even I was bamboozled because I did not check out the scorecard, right? We were jumping in towards this round. That basically meant that with the element of surprise, they can go in towards the A side. And because Laughdale was expecting no guns in their hands, they wanted to go in for a full-on execute rush with the retake. But the retake is so much more difficult in situations like this. Almost get it though. And towards the mid-market smoke, he is going to be going for a little bit more of a risky play. One towards the right side, the shots don't connect. One coming in from the left to go in for the backup. Shy Guy! He comes in for the big save, but in profit. Still very much alive in towards the left side of logs. He needs to be cleared out, but defenders, they don't really have a weapon to make this one work out for themselves.
With that, no weapons, but they can pull together
One enemy remaining.
weapon or two, but alright, Tightrope just making things worse. And it's just down to a 1v1. Ooh, Prophet! The last moment, did see the head, spots it, and gets that shot perfectly done. 3 kills onto his name. But here's the thing which went wrong in the previous round. I mean, easy round. Could have been a perfect execution. The first frag which came in towards the boathouse was perfect, but later on, everything just started to fall apart until the 1v1, right? Just imagine the 1v1 not going right. And currently, it just looks like they have an economical damage here. And it'll just bring them forward, like, just make them bring in all of those normal weapons like Bulldog and Phantom. Phantom, it's not normal, but here's the thing, it's just half shield, so that's one problem which I can see right there.
Here.
Okay, simple.
And people just walk straight in.
The operator had to do a lot of damage there, right?
Yeah, but I do think that Simple just didn't have a proper angle. He wasn't expecting it, but never mind. Tightrope! He's making sure that he deals all of the damage. Couple of good one taps to clear everything out here. It's LTE, they're in a prime position to win this one. Profit! Not the best of weapons to go in for this play, and Simple comes in with the operator again. The man, the myth, the legend.
Flashy.
Absolute menace with this one weapon. 2-2. It's LTE. We had a rough start into this round, but Tightrope single-handedly bringing this one back.
Here's a really good story, right? Every single time I see a jet and the jet is holding an operator, it's just like the perfect symphony. Every single time, it is gonna land those shots, and you have that instant dash back to run away from that situation. It is gonna go from bad to hell, so that's one thing good about Jets, and Simpo being the person who's just trying to be like the major asset to the team. That's one thing which is very admirable. And currently it seems like it's gonna be a big push yet again, and all the corners have been made clear, and it's gonna be a perfect post-plant scenario coming in real soon from the corners of AR Junior. But how well they can hold will be the question at this point. Simpo is still on with the operator, and we all know how the operator shots hit on target.
Another big important fact to remember is it's a 5v5 retake. Laughdale, they do have the Killjoy lockdown to go in for something big here, but even then, this Killjoy lockdown not being opened up as quickly as you would have hoped for. And taking away, not really much to give in towards this round. This is a very late Killjoy lockdown, even if they're able to push their way in. Despite the timers already ticking down, the ultimate now being utilized to break down the Killjoy utility. They're still going to be able to hold here. And for the attackers, they just need to survive a couple more seconds, and they do have this one going through. And it's going to be off one Geta going in for the big save. Zeno does find the kill, but it's just not going to be enough. 2 to 3, and the time that Tightrope took to get into position is one of the main reasons why they lost this. Tightrope needed to be way quicker, maybe just even full sprinting his way forward in towards B main. I understand that he would have made a lot of noise there, but still, the clock was not in their favor. The spike went down so early.
Definitely, I don't know. Tightrope was kind of just thinking whether his position is going to be known or not. Even if there was a KJ turret right there, the information was given out that a player is there towards mid, well, and all he had to do is run ahead, just run, power through, go ahead, put the lockdown, and that's where everything would have initiated way too quick. But it's all right. It is what it is. AR Junior doing really good currently at this point. They're just trying to explore every single dimension here. Currently, it's a stack. It's a complete stack towards A main. They want to keep the location unknown. Spamming across the smoke, just trying to find one or two players there. Here's the thing. LT's not going to make that mistake that soon.
I love the way that LT are not really taking any form of risk just yet. It's Simple having a very good forward position. He could just be good for one kill, but the refrags
Playing on picks.
just be an immediate problem. Simple positioning is good, but he doesn't find the shot here. Wasn't ready for it. Bishop instead is going to be the one to take him out. And this round already losing out one of the key players. This is not looking that good. The entry towards the B side has been denied, and ARJ again opting for another rotation with Prophet still having good control over the A side.
Simpo could have easily gotten the first frag. All he had to do is go ahead, hit all of those knives onto one body, and he would have probably gotten the kill. Currently, it just seems like a frag fest. And AR Junior, they're just mowing down the enemies. Left, back, and center. Only 2 players remaining from the corners of LTE. Fine, scratch that. The last player remaining. There's gonna be a breach, but unfortunately, he cannot breach up any of that situation which is going on towards side A.
That was a really good round played by the members of ARJ. Constant rotations coming in from either side. Played their cards properly, and that is not something that we can say about a lot of teams on the map of Ascent. Ascent is a map that teams have just relied a lot more on executions. They haven't really played for map control, even when it comes down to tier 1 levels of play in our region. So the fact that ARJ opting for a little bit more of a rotation playstyle, understanding that hey, we're not going to be able to go in for these hits on towards the side just yet, considering Laughtail are not really giving us much information early on in the rounds. Now that that finally has been switched out, Laughtail, what's your answer? You need to be a little bit more aggressive in positions that you know your opponents like to take. You can see that ARJ, they don't really like to go in for full-scale executions. So how do you stop them? You need to understand, okay, there's a possible execute coming towards the B side. You bait out the rotations from there. And then understanding that scenario, you make a push towards the A side instead. Take full control of A lobby. Make sure you push in towards A main and get into defensive positions there. You want to extend your A side as far as you possibly can. Force your opponents to utilize utility, making sure they give you enough information, that they could be either committing towards the A side, because if you commit a lot of utility towards A, that's a guarantee that it's going to happen.
True that. I mean, very well summarized right there, Aggie. I mean, commendable, man. Like, that's the reason I literally admire you, all the ideas you have currently. And I hope that LTE listens to you and they can do all of these things, whichever you have mentioned. I mean, yeah, baiting out the utility is one primary thing which you need to know. That's like the basics of Valorant, right? That's one thing you should never forget. But currently, it's just that ARJ is doing well. They're breaking the backs of LTE again and again with the money they have in the pockets. And in the previous one, they were pretty confident. Only one player loss was seen in the records of AR Junior. That's pretty much it. Because the opponents, who was LTE, just had like sheriffs and pistols and whatnot. So that's one thing.
We're opting for a little bit more of a default here. You can already tell with the KO knife going towards a short and possibly a silver recon towards mid. This might be an issue for the members of Laughtail. And yeah, just as I stated, they're going to be going for an aggressive rush towards the A side, making sure that they take full control over A lobby and not leave anything to chance. While B is being played a lot more defensively.
Yep, they are playing more defensively right now. Currently seems like the entire scenario for the corners of LTE. They want the information. They desperately need the information. A little bit aggressive. Got the information. Head back. And right now they're just waiting it out. Waiting for the players to make a mistake.
And look at Tightrope as well. He's all the way in towards B main. So he's keeping early information there. Understanding that, hey, if I don't hear any sounds towards B, it basically means the push is coming in towards the A lobby side. And this is huge. Black is in prime position to be even more. Has a flash in hand, going to be able to pop it out. Simple, good for the burst. He's not going to be utilizing the rolling thunder just yet, but still, three players very much alive and cooking for this one. Vicious is going to be the one to finally take out Simple. As one of the players do go down, but still not in the most favorable of ways. Lapdale, they have a significant advantage going
30
into
seconds
this round,
left.
especially with the mid being fully controlled out by Tightrope. Timing. Not really there. Natsu drag Neil, making its way up forward. Shy Guy in towards the bottom. It's Kid is for the trade, and Shy Guy goes in for the double as Black comes in for the big save in the final four. 3 to 4 is LTE. Lead this round to perfection.
Well. LTE finally. They have broken the silence. They have understood all the shenanigans of ARJ. Seems like it's like one of the points where LTE is going to have that perfect understanding. And right now, it's their time. They can shine. Looking at the way the entire economy is for the corners of AR Junior, they cannot make another mistake. If they do, then they have to come down to half buys, and that's pretty much it. That's going to be a story for one particular round.
Here.
Currently, Sharks has the lockdown. Wherever the team decides, that's where the entire lockdown is going to be implemented.
Blocking sight.
On the other hand, LTE, they have two crucial ultimates available. There's Fury and the Rolling Thunder. Okay, Cryax, you made the mistake. You cannot go head on right in front of Zato. That's what happens. One mistake, you're done for. Ulyss currently shut down. And the mid control just feels like it's just that much the team has achieved control. One mistake and that's gonna be it. But the last man standing, Natsu, what do you have in your arsenal? Did go in for that frag. Perfect. Indeed. Gets one. Right now, information. That's one thing that she's waiting for. Blind coming at the right spot. Black just knows the whereabouts of the Sova. And Natsu, he's gonna be taken down by Shy Guy. My oh my. LTE is on a prowl at this point.
But that's a good chunk of economic damage being done as well by the members of ARJ. LTE lost out on a bunch of their members, and if that in that last round, right, Shy Guy if Black did not die, he would have had enough money to get Simple an operator. As long as Simple gets an op in his hands, this is going to be a completely different story moving on forward. I'm really hoping that that's going to be the case. They need to make sure this op comes online as quickly as possible. And Simple's performance hasn't really been the best, or it hasn't really been that bad either.
No.
The man's doing his job. But on the other side, Tightrope has been phenomenal. He's not skipping a single beat here. And he's making sure that his team can rely on him to be that first anchor for his entire squad.
Take flight.
But here's the thing. Yeah, Junior's Sentinel is down now. No lockdown, but that information was very vital. Tightrope, yet again, he has gotten another crucial frag. A 2v3. And AR Junior just finding their footing at this point. They just brought in mere sheriffs. And that's pretty much it. I could see only a Stinger in the hands of the Jet. That's pretty much it. Currently, Shy Guy, he knows where the opponent was, but wait a second. This is big. This is big. They have a post-match scenario as well. Extra money in their pocket. And right now, if the null command is going to be activated, it's going to be perfect. Perfect for the corners of AR Junior. Just one more frag, but no, there you go. Black just playing it out. Perfect. Picture perfect. And a diffusal going to be very soon. We see.
That's just so sad. The man needs to hit 3 shots with the Singer to get a kill against a player that has full armor. The headshots do connect, but Not enough damage to make it work. 5-4, ladies and gentlemen, as Laughtail. They're able to survive and go in for a good chunk of these frags, but they're not doing it in a very decisive manner. So the operator still will not be able to come online in the hands of Simple, but I think that's okay. But what they do have to worry about is the amount of ultimates that ARJ have in their arsenal. Killjoy Lockdown, a Sova ult, plus a null command. They can stall out a site, and this can be an easy execute over towards B. But Simple, he's not going to give this one away. He still gets an operator, and I do think one of his teammates opted Bulldog instead to make sure that Simple has this weapon in his hands.
Wow. Good isolation there. Knew where the threat is. Successfully just delayed the entire shot off Simpo. And currently everything being utilized is just going to be the key for ARJ to win this particular round. But look at those bodies spiring up, left, back, and center. Simpo, Angel weapon, and he is just demolishing every single one of them who comes through his way. Just going ahead, getting those frags. Sato stealing the deal. And there you go, the 6th one coming on board for the corners of LTE. Laughtail, after 1 point, after making so many mistakes, they've understood the code to be cracked on ARJ. They're just doing it so well.
They really needed to go in for a little bit more of the ults that they had. ARJ, they refused to use this Killjoy Lockdown. And I get what they want to do. They want to wait for the Killjoy Lockdown being utilized by LTE and then trade out the lockdowns and keep the Sova ultimate for a possible post-plan situation. But you're not even able to get to those post-plan situations where your abilities are going to help you out. It's tough. ARJ, they have a plan in mind, but they're not adapting it on the fly. And hopefully with this tactical timeout, they are going to get that direction, Azora, because rounds are slipping away. And I get it. You're on the attack side. The attack side is a little bit weaker than the defense. Yada, yada, yada. But I've seen ARJ perform really well for their attack. And this is not the ARJ that can do well even on the defensive side if their attack is this lacking.
True that, true that. I mean, they did know how to eliminate the entire threat, where I could see Simpo going ahead and opting towards market, and they easily adapted to all of those situations. So that's the kind of adaptability I'm expecting from the corners of ARJ. And here's another thing, right? I mean, there's even flashes which you can easily utilize, being the KO. You can go for the pop flash as well, and then go ahead for the peak. So those things are currently missing. I mean, with peer pressure, it just feels like they're just dwindling. They're forgetting what to do. The basics are not coming right on target. That's one thing I would really want them to adapt upon and work around things with. Because 4 rounds in attack, like you mentioned, attack is weaker in this map of Ascent. So getting 4 rounds is good. But if you get an half of 6-6, then it's equally good, right? Oh, good flash. Perfect timing coming in from the corner of LTE. Nice. And currently, it's just that the man count disadvantage is just going to be stinging AR Junior so much. Yeah. Longata blind as a bat. At the end, it's Simpo just trying to do his things. Simpo being very simple with his tactics and getting those frags. My oh my, that bit control. Aggie, would you like to talk about that?
They used the timing for the Sova drone for all of this. As soon as they heard the Sova drone coming in, that's when the immediate push came through. And Cyrex, I don't really understand why he was holding that close towards the angle either. He needed to maybe be a little bit more of a backstep away from the forward angle, because Tightrope will always have the advantage going in for a swing there. Small mistakes being made by the members of ARJ that are really hurting them here. And look at Tightrope, he is playing so aggressively. He's utilizing the stun well, but Cyrex just sidesteps it. Not gonna be the one to survive. Tightrope finally being punished for his shenanigans. But still, it will be a 1-for-1. Both Killjoys now no longer in consideration. The Sova ultimate still would be in play.
Yep. So ultimate has been taken best advantage. Not yet there. And Simpo is still on it, man. He's still on it. He's missing his shots. At this point, it's not going to be that. It's always punishment time whenever you miss your shots. You whiff it, you get it. Currently, Black struggling, trying to get towards the side. There you go. Good backstab coming in. Shy Guy. It's all down to a 1v2 when Kryak Also, like, pressing forward, disrespecting the smoke and going ahead, going for the frag. 3 frags onto his name. It's always
Switching
the duelist
sides.
just going ahead and popping off. Scoreline was 7-5 for the second half. Decent, but it could have been better. No.
Yeah, there's a couple of missed opportunities, I would say, being presented here.
Yeah.
Prophet, the fact that he even got that kill over the Black is what the biggest surprise was. Shy Guy maybe could have turned this one around, but even then, it was tough. A lot of mistakes being made early, and the members of ARG being able to punish. This was a well-played round coming out from their side, but now, with them being on the defensive end, it'll be a bit better, right? They have talked about it. They have worked to the much more harder side of Ascent. Now the defense, it's all about tactics. You need to understand what's your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and then play according to them.
True that. Bit control will be the primary aspect here. Entering towards market, just making their way all the way towards side B. Dash comes in, Simpo shutting the door, making things easy for the team so that nobody can take an angle towards market. And currently it's amazing the way the entire execution is coming in. They have to just be aware that Sharks is just holding both out. And if he's not going to be taken down, then things can go worse. Last man standing.
Yikes.
Nitro has managed to make things simpler. And Shy Guy alongside. He's just going to be helping his teammate out. It's a post-plan scenario. Just one man. And he's going to take all 4 of them. Cryax. Oh my god. This guy has a cracked aim, man.
I don't know why Shy Guy is just literally standing in the middle of nowhere. It could have been so much more different in this instance. Not having to go in for the defuse just yet. Something's up in the back. They're probably talking to each other, trying to figure out what kind of plans they can go for moving forward for the defensive end. The clutch was good, but
Everyone's so heavy.
LTE, their post-line positioning still has not improved from what we have seen previously. They are so well oiled when it comes down to their execution, but their post-plans are horrendous to look at.
I mean, the way the entire mid-execution came in, the walls were shut, the door was shut, just to make things simpler for the entire team. But still, later on post-plan, 2 players packing with each other, right? Looking at their backs. I mean, come on. Boathouse would have been a better bet. Easy. Would have made things very easy. Shy Guy could have done his, part. He could have stayed there towards the boathouse. But it's all done. It's all done. The pistol round, which could have been LTE's, is unfortunately not theirs anymore.
Right there.
And ARJ. Believe that this round also can go into their favor. A good blank is moving right in. Shy Guy, Zato, alright, I can see them. Just wander, get those frags.
Not ready yet.
The Blongita trying to manage all of that damage being dealt so heavy in the corners of LTE.
I drops in a good spot, but I don't think he's gonna be able to get this frag.
no.
But why did you go inside of your own smoke? It was such a wonderful plan. And Tytrop's gonna be able to find his second too. Single-handedly, Tytrop with a Sheriff just found multiple. And the last one's already spotted. Vishux in towards the corner, has a Spectre in hand, but the weapon still will not be helping him up against 4 players who are on the opposite side of this. A little bit of damage already being given. Stun comes through, and they should be able to find the shot. The frenzy, not able to, but Black, regardless, he comes in with the aftershock to finish him off. A little bit dicey and a little bit of a problem, but overall, the members of LTE, they took this round purely because Alvongeta went back into his smoke.
Well, that was a big mistake, a big blunder. I mean, these kind of mistakes are going to cost them heavy at this point. It might even cost them this particular map. But come on. Going back to their own smoke, that one thing could have easily been tackled down if he wouldn't have done that. But ultimately, he had to pay the price. And LTE back onto square one. The confidence are mounting at this point. Let's see what's happening in this particular round. Silence all the way towards A main. Not like the orb there. There you go. Nitro is trying to be that perfect deception to make things clear for AR Junior that here's gonna be the push. It is towards side B. But there you go though. Push Coming in, getting the first frag. Tightrope just so prepared for all of these shenanigans coming from the corners of ARJ. But it's all done. The damage is done. It's only 2 players remaining for the corners of ARJ. And LTE
Spike.
doing amazing for this round as well.
Hydro went up against 3 players and he had no fear in his eyes.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure Tightrope knew. Even I could tell that, yeah, 2 players are now destroying my utility. They want to push into me. I would have made an instant run for it. Tightrope is like, nope, I'm not going to run. I have the confidence. I'm going to take this duel and I will be the one to win. Such a beautiful game coming in from Tightrope in that exact situation. And the Sentinel for the team just
One enemy
really
remaining.
showcasing his worth here.
Ooh.
Black comes in with another big kill. Natsu's taking a back seat, and he is now one step closer to that Rolling Thunder. Having that Rolling Thunder come online early enough in attack half of Ascent basically guarantees you a round, because either you're forcing the defenders to play inside of the site or play super aggressive to either one of the mains so that they can bait out the Rolling Thunder early on, so there's a little bit less pressure on the site. Or you play for a full-scale retake, and playing for a full-scale retake basically allows the attackers more options to either extend their site or to play completely off of the site, forcing the defenders to utilize a lot more of their utility early on to make these entries happen. They need to make sure they feed all of these orbs to that breach, because as soon as that breach ult comes online, their attack will become even more easier.
Ooh, that will be. But does he spot the player is very close? Oh, there was a good escape coming in. Simpo still going ahead, pursuing that person, but at the end, he has met his fate. Prophet, the way this man functions is just astounding. Currently, it's just a fake, which only one person is making ARJ believe. That's gonna be Shy Guy. Went ahead with the smoke. With that, team is currently having that perfect doubt that whether it's gonna be an A execute. Nope, it's good. Definitely gonna be a B execute coming in because of the lockdown being committed. The weapon here,
Hey,
I
how
could
did the
see
lockdown break?
there's an Odin.
Oh, the shock darts. Plus, he was able to use the Odin. That's so smart, Natsu.
One enemy
Who
remaining.
knows that the enemy is going to be pushing the lane? Currently, Shy Guy, last man standing. Frags just waiting. Rishax, he's going to be the one getting that final frag. Shy Guy, right since the beginning, I mean, he was just trying to find a perfect footing, right? He did make a deception towards site A, but once the lockdown just came in, it was just feast time for the corners of ARJ. And they knew it, they understood. Like you mentioned, the shock darts just came in at the right target, right spot. And that
No, I think he
that's what
just
is
broke
pretty
it with the
common.
Odin. No, he just broke it with the Odin.
Oh, nice,
Yeah,
nice.
I didn't notice that he had an Odin in
Paper
his
thin
hand.
walls.
Yeah.
That's a sin for you. I mean, the moment you have Odin or an Ares in your hand, you just know that you can do things which the utilities can't do.
It's a problem indeed overall. And a good early knife coming in from ARJ. Gain information towards A main, but with only 2 players spotted, the Jet does give a good chunk of information that there's a high chance of it being a hit towards the A side. As you can tell, ARJ, they're in a good position, but look at Tightrope. He's trying to clear out as many angles as he possibly can here. Looking towards the left side of lane. He needs his team to cause a little bit of pressure towards the A side. Vishix probably would have went in for a rotation if he did so. Tightrope. He's taking a little bit of a gamble here. He needs to commit to one particular side. If he doesn't, this could be looking quite bad. Tightrope.
Here.
His position is perfect. Already spotted out one of the players. The ultimate now being spotted out. And now with the ult, it's going to be Simple's turn to maybe go in for an execute. Spots on one. He's going to be able to find the execution. Finding no value whatsoever in towards the side. And this is what the breach ultimate does for you. It gives you a free side to play around in. And Simple in a beautiful angle to do even more here.
Here.
True that. But unfortunately, he's going to be spotted. The Odin spam can soon come in, but here's the thing. It's just waiting. It's at bay. 2 players remaining for the corners of ARJ. And the bomb is ticking.
Right there.
It's ticking bad. Flash is ready just to make things worse for the corners of ARJ. LT just prepared for all of
enemy
these
remaining.
plays. Black just goes ahead, gets that frag, and the last man standing, Cryax, he unfortunately has to run away for his life because the operator is one thing which is very expensive and he wouldn't want to invest on it again. Timpo pursuing this one, he knows it's going to be a high risk, high reward, and I believe he can go ahead and
What?
get that as well. Receives Cryax? I mean, why did he just go ahead and give away?
No, he expected Simple to run into him. But Simple's like, no, I already understand what you're thinking. You probably have a shorty in your hand and you're going to use that smoke to kill me. Smart. On either side, both of the Jet players pretty much got into each other's heads and did the exact same thing. A well-played round coming in from the members of LTE.
Do that. Good rounds coming in. LT already touching the double digit at this point. Cryax wants to do things. He wants to help the entire team. Gets that perfect frag onto Simpo. And currently, they're going to be pushed in towards market.
Placing swarm grenade.
I drop every single time. He plays that perfect lurker role, right? He knows where the utility is.
Spike
He
down,
goes
mid.
ahead, spams those shots, and just makes Sharks paranoid. And there's a player inside the site. Look at Zato getting the perfect mid control, maneuvering towards site A, but there's a player
remaining.
already waiting. Oblongata is the
down,
man.
mid.
Getting 2 frags back to back. The last man standing. Tightrope towards mid. What is your plan, Tightrope? Are you gonna go against 3 people? Is it gonna be a clutch moment? Seems real soon. Spike in front. Oblongata knows the enemy is gonna come to pick the spike, and he's gonna get the third. Good round altogether for the cons of ARJ. Very well executed. Knew where the enemies are coming, pondering at. The doorsteps were all jammed in. Right off the bat, Cryax getting that drag onto Simpo made things worse because the mid control would have been very easy if Simpo was alive.
Yeah, Simple's death just happened because he went past the drone. You need to wait for the drone to come in and give him a little bit more information before anything happened there, but the fact that he didn't,
Get out of my
one of the primary issues. ARJ in towards the back, Simple in a very good position to try and maybe take a little bit more value here.
Oh,
Spotted on one, Simple! Behind you!
Oh,
He's in the corner and probably the knives are being utilized to try and kill him. Simple stuck in one angle, but the players are already coming in for the big backup. Simple in towards the mid side. Vicious missed out on a lot of bullets there with his own Vandal. That's going to give the attackers an opportunity to fully W key their way in towards the side.
Spike planted.
Atsu in the back, and now the operator has the final opportunity to go in for a good setup. Options being given. Prophet's positions also known. Flash comes through to go in for the big stick. And Simple still missing. This is gonna hurt him quite a bit. Simple, he needs to guarantee this kill. It's gonna be huge. Prophet, the movement sublime from this player, but Black is just ready, and he's piping hot for this one. Stun was perfect. He's giving away a lot of sound, and he still got coming in from the sidelines. It will be Black.
man. Ironically, he's sitting in darkness, man. Look at this dude. Just go ahead. Demolish the entire team. I mean, the simple tactic of just staying towards hell and not making any sound worked so well. That peak was so dry. That peak was so dry coming in from Sova. My oh my, a bit more swifty. He would have gotten that frag. But nope, the backup cavalry arrived a bit too late. Then it was all down to this man, Black, getting the perfect round for the team. And LT is still surviving and thriving, man. Just imagine. The previous round could have gone south any moment. Any moment. But kudos, man. Kudos to this player.
Yeah, Black just did a wonderful job. I keep on saying this about Laughtail. Their team has very, very individually talented players. Every single one of these players have a clutch potential in them, and they can bring up Shy Guy, Black, Simple, Tightrope, even Zato, even though Zato's having a little bit more of a quiet game. He's doing his job really well. Giving utility, making sure his setups are done well. And the problems that the members of LTU were having previously on the map of Ascent, which was simple being a one-man show, is no longer there. Yeah, he is performing. He is asking for utility. Sometimes he's getting caught off by Cyrex, who has an operator in his hand. But even then, it's fine because of how well they're playing together as a team. The utility being set up by Black is also phenomenal. Black is asking his teammates, "Hey, do you want util here? What if I throw my flash in this position? Can you peek off of it?" The setups are gorgeous from this team.
Ooh, Krax being very ambitious at this point. Gets the first one here. Oh, wanted to go in for the second, but unfortunately, he's going to be shut down. The entire team's back is already broken. Economies now that great, but Natsu! Oh boy! Man, this guy is... Sheriff just sings. Just goes ahead, gets those perfect frags, and right now the way through, unfortunately didn't hit the target, but it was at the right section. It was at the right spot.
Initiated.
And man, just imagine the terror Simpo holds onto these players. But unfortunately, he's going to be taken down with that sheer nade of Profit. That's pretty much it. It's going to be the 9th coming on board for ARJ. This is a very quick round. And I don't know, everything went south towards B main itself.
How about I only bring a
Yeah, it was just
ruler
Natsu,
next time?
man. Dragon Slayer just coming alive for this case. And the guy just being able to take out 3 players with the sheriff in his hand. That's unheard of. Profit as well, being a very impactful player, I would say his scores are not going to show that he's doing well, but Profit has been getting all of the impact frags. The fact that he was able to kill the player towards mid basically allowed Natsu to just not have any pressure towards his back end.
Deploying drone.
He knew that, hey, Profit's holding my back. No one's going to be able to push me through market, so I need to make sure that I kill at least 1 here. But Natsu, he got more than he bargained for. He was able to kill 2 and deal ample amounts of damage over to Simpo as well. Simpo was at 35 HP, so he was forced to go in for the spike climb. Plus, as soon as Simpo went towards Botas, I knew it was already over because the Killjoy lockdown already was online from defense. It's the small details here and there that really makes a difference, Azora. And Simpo not being able to read the fact that, hey, the Killjoy lockdown was already online for the defense was one of the reasons why he lost. There was a good chance he could have clutched it considering the player that he is, but the information that he had was a little bit left.
But okay. Desperate times
You should run.
requires desperate measures. And currently, it just seems like the attacker's Killjoy is all prepared to make that perfect deception. Oh no, this would have been perfect if players would have gone in towards side B. There's only one player staying at that spot. But okay, this choo-choo train of
Found them.
LTE has already left the
30
station. It
seconds
has reached the design spot towards site A, and it's gonna be that perfect plant, the safe plant towards Jenny. Player being tagged and been taken out. 2 players simultaneously. Tightrope just managing things to be perfect here. Tightrope getting all
Okay,
of them,
give us a-
all
give
of them
him a
aligned at
yes.
this point. This can be an ace. This definitely can be an ace, and he goes for it. What a way to end
Go
things.
ahead. Hold
Getting
text
12th
support
on
again.
board, 1 step away from victory.
Match point.
And this is how you do it. And what an
It
answer,
does
man.
not
What an
make any
answer.
sense. Tightrope, man. When it came down to his own series, the man was performing well. Just look at him. He's already in towards heaven doing all of this.
Yeah.
For the big saves from the sidelines, and he does not miss. The confidence, even at 30 HP, he doesn't give a damn to what his opponents are doing or what they're thinking.
Do that. And that's how you get away from murder, man. Look at him. Maneuvering all the way across the side, just relaxing, getting those 5 frags. I mean, it's a very crucial thing. Being in the lower bracket and going ahead for an ace as well. The way the entire round began in the previous one itself was a perfect tone setter. Tightrope currently just going ahead, doing his own things. Yet again.
This will be another push coming in from middle here. Bishop's in towards the back. He's not really doing anything to gain early information. This is what I don't really like.
Found them.
I
Killed
told
my
you about
bot.
this, Zora. that the lack of information is going to hurt the
Tied
most.
down.
The mid, look at the mid side. Simple already made the dash. Natsu's making a lot of noise.
Natsu?
Oh, his mouse! His mouse! I'm pretty sure Natsu's mouse was malfunctioning there and he bounced off the spray. Tornado does get shut down, but still, you lost out on a bunch of players in LTE. They have a Rolling Thunder to play around with, so even if the rush comes through in the site, this is bad. Zora, I don't think they can win this unless Black makes a huge mistake. He's out a little bit too early.
I don't
As long
think
as
so.
he's alive, we win this.
Yeah, I don't think so. He's gonna make that. All of those kills is coming in, and there you go. Rolling Thunder is also in action, and Tightrope yet again getting 4 frags onto his name. Previous round an ace, next round 4 frags. I don't know. This guy has an individual gameplay. It is just refined to a place where I don't know, man. Nobody can even come close to him, and he's just making a perfect example out of things here. Yeah, Junior, absolutely, they have been demolished, and there you go, the winners of the first map in the map of Ascent. It is gonna be Laughtail. Definitely a good day to tell away at this point.
You know this was gonna happen. Kept on telling you, ARJ, their defense is a little bit too static. Where are the pushes? You needed to be a little bit more proactive in your approach when you're trying to take a lot of fights on Ascent. There was no map control. You had no information of where the pushes were going to be coming in from. Up there in mid, just casually walked it. I understand you have the figure alarm, not necessarily the information, but even then, Natsu wasn't in a spot to do anything.
Even true that, I mean,
Just-
like,
It's hard, man. Like, on Ascent, you expect them to
Definitely.
be more proactive. If you play reactively on this map, it won't help you. There's a reason why the KO is present. There's a reason why you have a Sova as well on your team. The Sova's there to play reactive.
True.
The KO allows you to play more proactively. The reactive plays that you can do on this particular map is very slim, especially with the composition that you're running. Maybe if you had a Viper and
True
a Sky, a Viper and the Sky composition that is primarily run by Loud, then that's a completely different story. This didn't make any
Definitely.
sense in the way that this game went down.
but it was a good position altogether. I mean, the way Natsu was just holding the pizza area, they could have easily gotten that round. I mean, it was the mid control which was under siege, and they were literally taking it by storm, getting all of those dashes perfect, and then everything just panned out really good for the corners of Laughtails. But ultimately, yeah, Junior, come on, the gameplay which I was looking forward for, the way they started, they set a tone to this particular map. I was just expecting something very different, out of the box thinking, coming in from their corner. But ultimately, Laughtail, with sheer aim and with sheer strategies of just one guy, man, Tightrope. That dude is just
That
nuts.
one,
He just went ahead, solo explored Site A, went ahead for the lockdown, created the entire space for himself, got the control of heaven towards Site A, and then got every single one of them wiped out clear from the corners of ARJ. So you can imagine the amount of individual play that person holds at this point. And I'm very much like, I was struck with awe, man. 4 kills, 5 kills, being so consistent, man, definitely has to be the MVP. I'm sorry, Simpo, but this man is just the OG.
That is for certain. Hopefully, he's going to be able to get the same level of performances when we go over onto game number 2. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to let the players rest, especially Tightrope, because he needs to energize himself for map number 2. It's going to be Lotus, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with a lot more action.
Spike planted.
past the sounds. Moonshot through the clouds, saddle up, 'cause there's no stopping me now. No stopping me. No stopping me. Turning on the stones, riding high on the hole. No stopping me. Stepping in and out, never worried about the how.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the AMD Presents Flipkart Back to College Cup Season 1, powered by ASRock, Acer, WD Black, and Portronics. Your boy Aggressive is now back with game number 2 of the day. And oh boy, match 1 was, let's just say it was an experience coming in from both sides. ARJ just kind of falling apart in more ways than one, I would say. Their team got really scared, they fell back, and they just couldn't get themselves out of that corner. They were just being punched back in 24/7 by the members of Laughtail, and it was not that big of a surprise. And the one that was delivering the punches was Tightrope. We're going to be jumping into the scorecards of the last game in just a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. So you can see what really happened, right? It was a 9-13 scoreline. You would think that, yeah, it was a very close scoreline, but in my opinion, when you look at the entire game as a whole, it didn't feel like it. Tightrope had 31 kills on a Killjoy. 418 ACS. 418! This guy has problems.
Yeah. It is definitely. He's fighting demons at this point. And like we can clearly see with the gameplay as well. Individual gameplays were on point, and the way he was just lurking around towards side B over and over, just not giving the slightest bit of hint to Shax that he is there towards the side. So it's just working. It was just working perfectly for this guy. And Tightrope, he has brought in it for the team. 31 frags, and like you mentioned, ACS of 418. That's an astounding number. But overall, it was a good try from Cyrax as well. I mean, he also tried his level best, being a duelist of the team. Tried his level best to get those frags. But currently, looking at the MVP of this game was Tightrope. And you all know the stats. It looks just amazing. Okay, ACS, it's a bit of a question mark right there. Is it 418 or 236? We'll clarify that real soon. But yeah, the way the entire game has been, it has been an amazing start for the Corners of Laughtail. And I believe that they will just surmount the same amount of confidence in the next map as well, unless AR Junior is going to have that mental reset, you know?
They really do need it. Especially going into Lotus, which is a map that requires even more map control, mind you. If you play passively, you have no way of winning on that map. I keep on telling this to every single team. Valorant is not a game that you can play reactively. Playing reactively is close to impossible if your opponents know how to go in for proper execute. Either you go in for at least when you're on the defensive side, you need to constantly go in for a lot of early pressure, bait out your attacker's utility so that they cannot get into a comfortable position to go in for their own attack. It's the small details here and there that really makes a difference, and I'm really hoping that with time, the members of ARJ have now figured it out with the small break that they had. It's been, 10 minutes? They have gotten a little bit more time to just huddle in, back together, talk things through, play Lotus at a lot more of a higher level, because we have seen the members of Laughtail really play this map to perfection, at least when it comes down to their own defensive side. Their defense looks phenomenal. Their retakes were, I would personally say, one of the best that I have seen compared to any other team. But when it comes down to their attack side, it's those post. I don't know why, but this has been a recurring theme for a lot of teams, at least from what I've seen, other than PUBG and Aravata, the two teams that have the most experience, mind you, that their post plans are kind of horrendous. But the members of ARJ, they don't really have that same problem. Their post plans are good, but the crossfires that they set up and their trades have not been that simultaneous with each other. That's where they're falling apart a little bit more. So both of the teams have two very different problems, but one squad is well oiled when it comes down to their trades, and the other just cannot get the trades in, but their strategies are sound. So the fundamentals are a lot more important, I would say, and hopefully ARG to just take a much more simpler route and simplify their strategies while focusing a lot more on the fundamentals that really are lacking in the roster.
True that. I mean, like, very well summarized, Aggie here. And that's one thing, like, even I could see which was missing for the Corners of ARJ. I mean, they did try the level best. They were doing significantly good in the first half, but later on, something just struck by the utilities. Even though they were on point, they were trying the level best. It was not working out. Their strategies suddenly just stopped just because of one person, Tightrope being that person, just going ahead, getting all of those frags solo. That individual gameplay being one of those plus benefits for the corners of Laughtales, and that's just helping them out, right? I mean, if they're able to break the entire defense line of the corners of ARJ, then it's all in for a treat, and Laughtale is doing that really good. And moving on for the second map, Lotus, the agents are going to be selected. What do you think? Is it going to be a dual, you know, initiator composition, or is it going to be like dual controller? What would you prefer in this map, Aggie?
After the Viper nerfs, I think a dual initiator is just a little bit stronger. Now that you
Yeah.
have the option of playing that fade with that breach, it's very strong, but it requires a little bit more synergy and, of course, communication to make it work out well. What I don't like is that players have really started to pick up on that Cypher instead of the Killjoy. The Killjoy just allows you to take more, I would say, trap play level setups that the Cypher does not. The Cypher main problem that you face is the tripwires are easily broken out by the pain shields, while on the opposite side, the Killjoy utility is a little bit more versatile in the way that you can place it. Consider this, the Cypher has 2 breakpoints. The tripwire has 2 positions that you can break, while the Killjoy utility, if you place it down properly, requires the need to be right on top or in a close enough vicinity for all of the nanostorms to be broken. One of my personal favorite setups to play whenever I'm playing Killjoy is heading on down over to the seaside on the defensive end and placing an early alarm bot on the opposite side of the dune. Now, why do I normally do this? It's because players, whichever, if anyone ever wants to walk up towards C, maybe go in for a little bit of a sneaky hit, needs to trigger that alarm bot, and that alarm bot is not breakable by anything. Even if you throw a nade, that nade is going to be landing directly on top of the dune, and it's not going to reach the alarm bot even. So it's a huge investment to try and break this. So if you try to break it, a Killjoy being inside of the site can instantly come out, peek you, and get a kill. That is a very strong trap play setup that you can go for, gaining early information towards C, allowing the players that are playing towards maybe the B side or even close to the rotating door to instantly open it and go in for a huge hit and pincer the players from 2 different side lines. These are the type of trap plays that you expect if you have a Killjoy on your roster. The Cypher, a little bit more one-dimensional. He can hold the side better than a Killjoy, but
Yeah.
he's not going to be able to give a lot of support to your team on the similar level.
I would definitely agree to that. And yes, like if you ask the same question to me, like I would definitely go for the dual initiator composition as well. I mean, Fade and Raise, the combination will be amazing. And alongside, if you have another agent who can go ahead for the flash, play those flashy gameplays, for example, Breach here, I mean, it's just going to make things better and smoother for the team to even understand what's going on, right? So that's one thing even I would like to implement in my rank games as well. And even in this game, we have seen like dual initiator composition. So I hope it's going to work for both sides. And I'm hoping that AR Jr. will learn from the mistakes, from the previous mistakes in Ascent, and then finally just make a perfect wackadoodle out of Laugh Tales. But here's the thing, the plus point is I do want to see Split. So that's the reason I'm betting on AR Jr. to win this particular map, because Split is a very interesting map where Raze is always going to be picked because of the smaller dimensions where the nade can literally go ahead and make some good amount of damage. So I do want to look at that map. So I'm hoping that it's going to be 1-1 AR Jr. I hope they are listening to me, and all the best for those boys out there so they can perform with all their mights.
Air Junior is one of those teams that have the potential, but they don't really know how to utilize the potential for this. This is their opportunity to do so. And yeah, sorry about the small delays here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be jumping on down towards the gate soon enough. The players are trying to reconnect back in towards the lobby, and we're going to be jumping straight on back in. You know how Valorant is. There's going to be slight crashes, but we still love it anyways.
Yeah.
The action will, of course, be on top-notch quality. Don't really worry about that. And as we are going to be waiting here, you can check out all the links down below in the description. We have huge sales going on at Flipkart. If you want to get yourself a couple of good deals on very incredible products, got you covered, our sponsors, and made sure to give you the best deals that you can get here for that promotion. But for now, let's talk a little bit more about what to expect coming in from the Fade, and why I personally like the Fade here on the side of Laugh Tale in comparison to not having a Fade on the opposite side. Now, with the Fade, it's strong because it allows you to have not only a source of information with the Haunt, but also the Prowlers, which can be utilized early on to gain information. Plus, it gives you free tree control that no other initiator can do in this current meta.
True.
Other than Sova and, of course, Sky, who have the Trailblazers to give you an opportunity to follow it and maybe go in for a push, the Fate has two Prowlers on the opposite side. Now, with those two Prowlers, yeah, it's not as strong because you can easily break it, but that's all that you need. You need some form of breakable utility that will force your opponents to be like, hey, we need to move our crosshairs to this position, allowing anyone following the Prowlers to instantly come in for a possible one tap if the communication lines are well done. And that's why a lot of teams that we have seen in other regions shift away from the breach and start picking up on that gecko, because if you have a lot of different breakable utility, it really does cuck any good player when it comes down to their aim, because they need to break it. And breakable utility strength is slowly but surely rising up in the current meta for a lot of teams.
True that. Only one solo Cypher just trying to dwindle there towards side C. Currently looking at the way the entire push is coming in, the information is very well understood that LTE is moving towards side C, and slowly but steadily they want to move away from there. The only way they can do is the rotating doors. Other than that, it's gonna be a show of Cypher to easily hold down the entire situation under the control of Natsu. Cages are up, and there you go. All the angles being completely shut down. Natsu sadly has to vacate instantly. It's going to be a post-plan scenario coming in real soon. And LTE finally has
extended. Look at the Cypher!
Extra money. Yes, he is going all the way behind. He can get multiple frags here. Tightrope. This man has an individual gameplay, 100 IQ gameplay coming in from his end. And there you go. It's a 1v2. All of a sudden, 1v1. Tightrope still up for his attention. Last person standing will be forfeit, and unfortunately, he has to fight the dust. Good understanding there, Aggie. I mean, the way the entire push came in, it was very sneaky of Tightrope to even do that.
This is why side extensions are so crucial on the map of Lotus, especially when you're attacking over towards the seaside. I love the fact that Tightrope had the initiative to be like, boys, I'm going to be going on a trip.
That goes there.
And I'm going to be able to make this one work. And that's who's actually playing on a laptop. Never mind. Where is this guy? I remember him playing on a computer before.
Age of years,
Actual
man.
Giga Chad.
You need to have that backup, right? And that's one thing which the laptop provides. Anywho, moving on this round, it just looks like it's going to be a symphony yet again from the corners of
Good kill,
ARJ.
Cyrus.
First frag already taken onto Tightrope. So the lurker has been denied.
That's a big gun.
That's one, yeah, that's one big thing, man. I mean, at this point, I'm not worried about Simpo at all. I'm worried about Tightrope. That dude is nuts. He can do anything out of nowhere.
Mike's going to be able to find a good kill over towards mid. That's your Roman now gone. ARJ. Not having the smoke will not allow them to try to play for the lot more of the close proximity fights. But still, regardless, there's a lot of Guardians on play here. 2 bullets for a kill, yes, but if you get caught off guard, it's not going to be that easy to go in for these plays to happen here. Black, position's good. Are they going to be able to clear out this close corners? Profit in a prime spot to find a minimum of 1. He's able to get it, but instantly traded out. 1 for 1, and honestly speaking, the defenders, they've done more than enough here. They don't need to worry about much more. Natsu comes in for the big save, catches out Shy Guy in towards the back. Last one already spotted, and it's going to be simple. He doesn't skip a beat as per usual. 0-2.
Even though the mistakes have been made from the corners of ARJ, they're still doing like those like rookie mistakes, right? I mean, it's fixable. It's definitely fixable.
Osiris has gone
so
to the cafe.
One thing, yep. He's there. He just knows that he needs that extra bit of jolt to get this entire thing accomplished. Yeah, moving on. ARJ. They need to somehow win this round. I mean, all the rounds wherever they couldn't buy anything, it's fine. It's all gone. Finally, they have the money to buy they very well squeeze the maximum out of this one. LT, on the other hand, they're heading towards site A, slowly but steadily checking all the corners, just thinking that the race might double saturate and reach towards rubble. Won't be the case. Checking every single corner. Simple, waiting it out. He has the Guardian, and Guardian's mind. That weapon is very underrated. One shot to the head, and you're done for.
Wait, did the boombot not trigger it? Oh wait, it did. Never mind. I was so confused for a second that the boombot wouldn't trigger it. But for now, Oblong Geta, he's gonna be able to go in for the full play. Black, utilizing his movement to the fullest, does catch out Oblong Geta at the bare minimum, but even then, position's not looking good. Natsu, he's just
One enemy remaining.
already the one to die here. Tightrope still very much alive. Black in a good position. Needs to be the one to go in for by the first, but he could not spray transfer for the second. Cyrex instead. Good for the kill and good for the equalization, but even then, this was a very expensive round for the defenders. Don't forget, LTE, they were playing for a full-on bonus, and all their weapons came from the opposition.
That. It's just that it is gonna sting. This round is definitely gonna be stinging. It's gonna be stinging for the corners of ARJ. And LTE, like you mentioned, they played on bonus. Currently, they're as free as a bat. They can go ahead, purchase their particular weapons. Tightrope, yet again, I don't know, man. This person is on to a different level. Like, he's built different. You never know where he's gonna swing. You never know where he's gonna be. Currently, it looks like he wants to take control of mid. And on the other hand, the complete team is heading towards side C. Early aggression, a proactive move coming in from the corners of ARJ did lead to one loss of teammate here for the corners of LT, but it's still recovered. It's recovered. And that mistake is going to surmount. ARJ yet again. One round went good. But the next following round,
Good swing.
absolute tatters, man.
I love the way that they swing out and take fights too. It's so well done and simple. The bullets just connect.
Let's do it again.
He does not miss when it comes down to these headshots, man. And the confidence that this guy has compared to map number 1, it's phenomenal. The rise in confidence and all the players of LT have, mind you, not even as simple. They know they're gonna win this. And they are going to win this one in style. And you can tell, right? What is the weakness of the Cypher? Natsu's not really playing that badly, but having a Cypher on your team just makes you much more reliant on your raw mechanical skill compared to the utility that you can bring for your team. There's no stall potential, and not having that stall can be painful here. But for Simple, utilizing the nade early, slightly questionable in the way that he wants to take this entry here. But with C-side being completely empty and no Cypher being present here, he has an opportunity to fully go around for this. Look at spam shots, but look at what members of AirJ are. They're in towards mid.
And Simple is so snappy. Look at him just going ahead. Oh boy, the point where he had to go ahead and hit those shots, he couldn't have. Longita did manage to squeeze a kill here. And I believe that's going to be the maximum they can get. Oh, this was very close. Profit! Good swing coming in from that end.
Big save.
This is just pistols. It's just such a decent buy coming in from ARJ, and they have managed to squeeze so much out of it. Have retrieved 4 weapon for the next following round. And this is
Laptop
big.
buff.
Yep. And
That's what you call the
someone
laptop
just
buff.
iced, man. Give him some ice packs as
Play
well,
this
man.
round. Oh. Yeah, I have no idea how they were able to win this with just classics in hand. Prophet coming in clutch. He didn't even show himself, mind you, early on, so they had no idea that a third player was present towards A main. They only expected 2 to be present on the left side. They already got the first kill, so they were only expecting Oblong Geta to be sitting there in that position after you thrash. But no, Prophet came in huge. From the sidelines, he had the perfect angle over onto 2 players, and he did not miss. That's the key factor. He found both headshots, making sure that his team was going to be able to find that victory. And ARJ, on that high, they should be able to do even more here. Simple. Still did not utilize the showstopper for anything for the execute. So for now, it's a full reset.
Playing on eco at this point. LT playing it smart. They're gonna play on picks right now. Stacking the entire team. They're heading towards site A. And Tightrope, he's taking the lead, getting the information that they need so desperately at this point. This can be big. I mean, we have already seen one eco round go absolutely crazy for the corners of ARJ. This might very well be the case for the corners of LTE as well. Cyrax just holding it out, knows that the player is going to be there. Oh, instant satchel. Smart plays coming from his end. Got a frag. And away instantly. Good retreat coming in, and there you go. That team is surmounting, getting those frags. It's going to be more down session, and ARJ getting the third on board. LTE
Okay, I
made a
only
mistake
have,
in the previous round, and
78 grenades left.
after that, it was a
Hopefully that's
perfect
enough.
recovery coming in from the corners of ARJ.
They have good map control though, the members of LTE, but they're kind of fumbling when it comes down to holding it. And once more, it's purely on the basis of having a Cypher over a Killjoy. At least with the Killjoy turret, you have that option to hold on to mid and understand if anyone's going to push into you. While if you have a tripwire, yeah, it stops the enemies from coming into the flank, but you don't get information that the flank is being infected. It's going to be Simple, who does find the first kill though at the bare
Face your fear!
minimum. Ultimates now being utilized. Forward positions here from either side. Tightrope. He does have the angle, but the smoke is going to cover everything here. 3 players towards the breakable door. And for now, they have time. Can hold this one through with Tightrope being able to go into a very close forward position. Cyber Cage giving information that the player is close. But is he going to risk it? Tightrope, this is a dangerous play to make. If you lose this fight, it could over, but
lined up.
Tightrope, he does not miss.
Player standing.
And Score and his teammates are going to be able to make sure he stays alive for as long as possible. Trades come in instantaneously. As ARJ, they were not mentally prepared for this one. 3-4, ladies and gentlemen.
Definitely. They're not at all prepared. A good amount of executions coming in from Tightrope. The moment he's alive, things are possible for the corners of LT to win, you know. That's one thing which I've noticed.
My ult's not ready.
His presence is absolutely a bliss. It's helping the entire team. It's boosting the morale. The fourth one comes on board.
This goes here.
They have to just take the same kind of plays for the entirety of the attack. That's how they can easily get this one onto their name. But here's the thing. ARJ, they're prepared for this one. Going aggressive. Cyrax going ahead, playing the smoke.
No,
disrespecting it.
Tightrope.
And a Blancata, even he's there. 2 people peeking at once. Taking Tightrope down. This is big. This is mighty. And look at Simpo. He's already there towards the side. As a showstopper, he's going to be commenting it this time. Knows that a player is there. Drop. The audio was given. The life taken away.
I need to extend. And I like this. They're making this push happen. Simple. He needs to hit the shot, and the flick does connect. Made in hand. He's not going to be able to find it though. But regardless, he's Simple. Isolating out the players. He does wonders for it. Cyrex said no idea what to expect with Shy Guy for the first and Black for the second. 3-2-5, ladies and gentlemen, as LTE, they finally have the group back under control. With that, the vibe check is now done. LTE, utilizing a good chunk of their ultimates, mind you, Azora. So they have to worry about what could be coming forward from the members of ARJ. Orb control, very crucial at this stage, because they need to farm up those ults faster than the defense can get theirs.
I need to blow something up.
Well, yet again towards the back. It's gonna be ARJ trying to make something out of this round as well. Again, the aggression coming in from Cyrax. He is way too aggressive, and this time Tightrope was prepared for the first, but not for the second yet again. The side C is completely under siege. And like you mentioned, I mean, Cypher is a really good anchor towards the side, but the thing is, like, the moment the traps are all gone, it's all done for. It's just a raw aim which he has to rely upon. There was a moment where Washax was blinded, but still he has gotten the kill of Simpu because he was way too close in the proximity. Natsu piling on top of it. Don't think so. This is gonna be a round of LTE, but Shy Guy trying his level best. That smoke, it's gonna be an hindrance. As the wingman, he's just doing his due diligence, man. He's just going ahead, diffusing the spike. There you go. The fourth one coming on board for the corners of ARJ.
Also, another funny thing that a lot of people don't know, that Wingman, when he's diffusing, is elevated to the point of head level. So if a player
Yeah.
is standing right next to Wingman, technically their head and their neck is almost at the same stage. So that's why Zato could not go in for the proper spam. He was spamming at the head level of a player that would be sitting down and diffusing, but because it's Wingman, he couldn't get the spam off properly.
Ah. I believe even he needs someone who can tell him the fun facts. And he would have been all ready for that. But yeah, thanks. That's some really good information there, Aggie. Next time, I'm actually a Gecko main, so I'll make sure to stand right in front of him while he's diffusing.
No, bad idea. Don't do that.
I mean, my teammate is gonna be alive, right? So why not? Why not go ahead and take the gamble? But you know, currently, who's taking a gamble? It's LTE, man. They need more rounds in attack because this is an attack-sided map. So I would definitely want them to get more rounds than just 5. But ARJ, they're doing everything right at this point. They're getting everything perfectly checked up. They're they're going ahead for the aggression, getting that early information towards site A. I mean, towards rubble, and then just playing the perfect game. So that's helping them. And it's currently like the way we used to see ARJ be very scared and intimidated of LTE, it's the opposite now. So LTE literally need to come out of their shells to play this particular map, is what I believe. What do you think, Aggie?
Just have to wait and see, honestly. For now. It's just a game of cat and mouse between both of these teams. ARJ, they're figuring out a lot of the ins and outs that are really making the members of LTE work. But LTE immediately just goes in for a completely different setup. And that's the thing. ARJ, they're adapting, but how much can they adapt? It's over on the defensive end, right? Think about it.
Yeah.
When you're on the defensive side, you can adapt to certain strategies, but unless you are the ones taking initiative, the attackers are always going to have the significant advantage because they are the ones who are dictating the pace of the fight. That is why on the map of Lotus, it is very important that you don't give the attackers any form of opportunity to set up their own plays, and you're the ones who take that early fight. I haven't really seen that coming in from the members of ARJ much. And I understand why as well, because they do have a breach, and that breach does allow them to play aggressively, but they're a little bit afraid of it. And in this time, it seems to be the case where they are taking over full A lobby control. Cyrex picking up the orb, which is perfect. This is a textbook level play that you make towards the A side, but they're not holding it. They do not have proper positioning to keep a hold of A lobby control. Now let's say there's a Rolling Thunder coming in from LTE. If they want to invest it, this is gonna look grim for them.
Cage triggered.
Ooh, it's definitely gonna give them the map control. That's one thing which I'm just waiting. Oh, that was a good burst out there. And currently just making things worse is gonna be the Rolling Thunder. Look at Prophet being caught off guard. There you go. Everything has worked out. It has panned out for the corners of LTE. They're just aggressing. Nitro, he's pursuing this one. He wants to go for the frag onto a Blongita. You know the flashes off. Blongita is always going to be prepared. It's going to be amped up. That's one thing which he just doesn't want to, build up. ARJ, in a post-plant scenario. Something or the other. There you go. Atsu going ahead for those frags. Blongita piling on top of it.
Yeah,
But Shy Guy and Nitro. As long as they're alive, they have the hope to win the round.
Was a little bit too close for comfort, in my opinion. LTE, again, they just won this round purely on the basis of one thing. They were able to take the fight in the way that they wanted. Who in their right minds did not have anyone playing close to rubble? They don't have anything to clear you out on rubble. Other than, yeah, maybe a raise nade, but he's not even utilizing his nade towards rubble to clear you out of that position. And even if he does, you have that opportunity with your breach to set up a flash play that will instantly stop them from doing so. ARJ, they're making mistakes in the way that they're taking control. Yeah, you took the control over A lobby for what reason? Just to take an orb? That's not how you play the map of Lotus. Airborne basic mistakes when playing the map, and the members of LTE, they're just taking free real estate at this point. No one holding towards the seaside, again playing for a full-scale retake. And LTE, they're more than happy to take this fight. Look at them, they're already ready to extend the site for themselves. They're in spawn.
That's true, because of weaponry. Weaponry is not that great, and they understand, they know the reason why there's no retake coming in real soon. And it's all down to this last man standing. Judged by the fate of Zato.
Last round in the half.
Doesn't look that good for them at all. LTE, if we can check out the scoreboard one more time, I do believe that their ultimates are just about to come online. Nightfall's 2 off, and yeah, just look at them. Simple's 2 away from the showstopper as well. They have a good opportunity of using the showstopper or even the Nightfall if they want to, in proper synchronization with one another. It all depends on the setup that they want to go for. They have options again. The attackers, unless I see the defenders actually opt to go in for a little bit more of an aggressive push and stop them from getting these orbs, things are not looking that good for them. Tightrope gets another kill. Cyrex is now down for the count. That's an instant rotation over towards the A side, and they should be able to get the orb for it.
Ooh. Man, things are just going so quick at this point. Finally, a standstill. A rotation being called off towards side A. Was a player who was lurking around towards the A side itself. And it's going to be a blown
they took the orb.
Look at the ping, it's so accurate. Wait
they
a
didn't take the
second.
orb.
That's true. I mean, if they do, then the information will be given away, right? And ARJ, they're just waiting for the information itself. Simple. He can do this if he goes ahead. Yeah, if he gets it, then it's all going to be easy for the team to go ahead for the execution. Oh, Blongata! You mischievous guy. Gets a second frag, gets a third as well. It's a fourth one on for him. It all started with Tightrope and ended up with the breach. Kato going ahead for the post-plan scenario, but I don't think so. He can take it all up, soak it in. Nightfall can be committed. Information. All about that. All about the information. A tap coming in, and it's going to be Prophet getting that frag onto him. Zato sadly couldn't do much there, and a scoreline for the first half is 7-5.
The only way that he would have ever won that is to one-tap both players out of existence, but even then, it would have been quite the difficult feat. What I don't understand is, why didn't Simple want to take the orb? I understand it would have given away some noise, but it's completely fine, because you want to have as many advantages as you possibly can while taking this fight. Oblong Geta, though, he played this one to perfection. His aim completely on point for all of the kills, and Zato, last one alive, who finally did find the frag, but even then, it was a close call. 5-7, and the members of ARJ, they should be quite happy in the way that they were able to close out a couple of these rounds. But overall, they should not be celebrating just yet, because the members of LTE, their defensive side, looks a lot more scarier and more refined than their attack half.
Do that. This is the aggression which we were talking about. Look at Tightrope. Got the information that there are multiple players out there towards his side. Right now, he's just anchoring the site. Early rotation called in as well, and it's going to be a post-one coming in real soon. Sharks, oh, he exited the proximity just in time. I mean, per tick, it's giving you 80 damage. So in the second tick, he would have been dead at this point, but okay, he's alive with just mere 20 HP. Currently, it's going to be the post-plant scenario being under siege. Kato goes in for the frag. The amount of frags coming in, right clicks all around, and look at Shy Guy timing it at the right time and obliterating the enemy team. They can easily go for the defuse as well. Oh boy, what did I just see? It was a good execution coming in from ARJ. But then the post-plant scenario, my oh my, they couldn't keep it up.
Tried to stay serious here, but
ARJ were just very confused on what was happening on the side. Simple jumping in from the top lane, instant when it comes down to these retakes. And remember what I said previously, Zora, that the retakes is where the members of LTE shine? You saw exactly why.
Definitely.
The team is not afraid. They're going to jump in into your face. All 5 players are going to be taking the fight together, and they know how to do proper
They don't
target
have a chance.
prioritization.
satchel out.
That's what gives them the edge in every turn.
Well, this is one thing very clear that Simpo just goes ahead and he just wants to lobby control. He wants to understand where the attackers are heading at this point. And look at that. The perfect combination, like you mentioned. The fade and raise combination. Getting all the information that they need. And Simpo jumping up and down, trying to get the perfect bit of information. Knows that the player are there towards the spawn itself. And currently, they're heading towards B. If they do, the Cypher trap is just waiting for him.
I don't think they care much about the Cypher trap. With no one really being close enough to go in for this play, Nitro, he's in a worse spot though. Angle, not really his to play around with. He doesn't even have a smoke there present. Try and hold this. Questionable in the way that he wanted to play this one, but at the bare minimum, he dealt a lot of damage, right? ARG's 3 players are very low on the HP department, so a couple of run-and-gun kills should be enough to finish them off.
Oh, true. What better? What better than 80s? Look at that. Zato goes ahead, gets that frag. Currently, every single one of them is just heading towards the side. 2v2, both the players way too low. The plant is not even favoring them. Information has been given. But here's the thing, it's not going to be doing much because the players are way too low. Just mere 1 HP. And it's going to be stuck. A ninja coming in. Alright. Right time has been left.
Okay, where was
Half defuse and Zato
My
is going to
ult
be
is
completing it completely. A good round coming in for LT yet again. And ARJ. Man, I don't know. Care to shed some light here, Aggie?
I'm just confused as you are at this point.
one enemy remaining?
I didn't know what Black was trying to. Oh wait, Black had 0 bullets. I didn't see that. The man tried to jump forward and go in and pick up a gun right in front of his enemies. The balls on this man.
And the things you do to make the team win, right?
Yep. Hey, but at least they won the round, right? You always have Zato to go in for plays like this. And once more with the Ares, he's able to sing a song of death.
Oh, he doesn't budge. Look at him. I mean, he could have easily shot that flash, but no, he didn't want to.
Satchel out.
Finally, a
Not
ray
really
of
even a
hope.
weapon in the hands of Shy Guy for this one. Play this one very slowly. Zato again. Still alive for some of it, but can't really opt to go in for spams just yet. Nightfall in check, but utilizing a Nightfall here like this seems to be the play that they would have wanted. Cyrax! Be careful when you whiff those shots. Because now Simpo's been given an opportunity to maybe pull out a clutch. Miracles have happened from this man, but with the stinger in hand, play will be difficult. No smokes, no nothing. Wingman now zoned into one of the players. That's the first good shot! And Oblinkena with the third as well. And he's one away from the crash. ARJ, they now have a good opportunity to go in for a proper execute over on the C, A, or even B if they're able to make this rotations happen proper.
Indeed, indeed. But look at the amount of dedication the wingman has. He knew that the target is right in front of him. He went for that slap no matter what the cost will be. And the concussion, it was very significant. It was against an Ares, so the Ares is It's that kind of weapon which can literally demolish multiple targets at once if you know how to spray transfer. That's one thing which is just working out. And right now, the information Tightrope has already received that it's gonna be a C hit. There you go. Everything has been commenced. Nades coming in just to clear the corners. The satchel, it's gonna be helping. Side axe getting the perfect frag onto Tightrope. There goes the weapon in vain.
Oh, that's a good ult. They're able to answer. And ARJ, they're just W-keying their way forward purely on the basis of a breach ultimate. Beautifully done, but the utilization of the breach ultimate was done to try and stop it. Eco from rushing themselves forward. Profit though with a spray, good for the first. He's not playing a couple of mind games, but Shy Guy's not gonna give him any space. Shy Guy, good for the double, but he's not gonna be able to find his third. Sad story indeed. And Profit ended up being humbled there. He wanted to play a little bit of a game with Shy Guy, but once you see this man's face, it's gonna make sure that you die a horrible death.
One enemy remaining.
Man, he never shies by hitting his shot, man. Look at him. My god. Those taps were just crisp. Prophet just made a mistake of giving him one good chance, you know. 2 weapons were down in that particular round,
Careful
and currently a timeout just for the attackers to make things right. All about the synchronization. ARJ. Oh, they want to get back into the game so desperately, but the moves that they're implementing at this point. I mean, the previous one, the weaponry was not that great of LTE. That's the sole reason they could go ahead. But here's one thing that LTE was very happy about the previous round. The Rolling Thunder being utilized, right?
Careful there.
I mean, the next one, when they have the buy, they can easily go ahead and make things right for them and hit the double digit.
Absolutely.
More opportunities at the end of the day to prove themselves even more here. 79 on the scorecards, yes, but overall,
Now.
I'd say that LTE, we still need to sweat a little bit here. The defensive side has not been looking that good, purely on the basis of the Cypher. The setups being given by Tightrope have been looking a little bit faulty. Thrash being utilized though towards the B side to get a free entry in. Not really being able to find the earliest kill just yet, and Black being able to find 2. You gotta love it when you see it. A beautiful concussive blast being able to catch out one. Simple does get shut down by Prophet though over on the opposite side, so they do have a little bit of an opening, but Prophet's in position. No, the flash is good, but he does get caught out by the Prowler. Completely blinded out, and Tightrope with the double coming in through the rotating doors. With Zato with the last.
You just make one mistake, and LT is out there just to go ahead and capitalize that mistake. They do it so well. And the previous one, he knew, Black knew
Goes here.
where the entire player was. And after that, it was just about time. Gecko was just absolutely demolished that corner. That's one thing, right? Like, the moment you know where the enemy is going to be there, once you have that read and you go ahead, commit to that particular utility, I mean, it's just freebie coming in.
Another big play could be made here. Cyrex does have the showstopper to maybe make an execute over towards the side, but even then it's quite dangerous. Natsu in mid to maybe bait out a bit more utility, but they don't have any info. Look towards A. Simple's already over on the top side of Rubble. Does get baited out a little bit here, but he's not dropping. He's holding Rubble down tight. Because of the amount of information that he has, he's not gonna be risking it. Coming in from the side, Cyrex does catch out Tightrope though, finally. Being the danger man for all of it. Concussive Blast, merely they'll damage over on the 2, but regardless, the defenders, they're not gonna be able to make their way in towards the side just yet. And no real utility in hand either for the members of LTE to make this execution simple.
The only possible way is to take it from the shadows and try and create the chaos between ARJ. That's the only way I can see things happening. Currently, the man count advantage is there for the corners of
player
ARJ, and they just
standing.
want to go ahead and make things perfect. 4 frags for Cyrax, but ultimately he has to stop.
Enemy remaining.
There is one player playing towards the rubble, and the other one is going to be swinging way too close. Natsu being the man, closing it up with a 8-1 on board from the corners of ARJ. Work is still not done yet. The lead, it's still not there for the corners of ARJ and LTE. Even though they're making some mistakes here, they're able to capitalize in the next following round. So, for them, it's no worries.
There.
Just imagine if Zeta went in for a spray transfer there. That could have been so sublime. 8 to 10 though. It's ARJ. They did lose out on a good chunk of their members, so overall LTE, they're still looking a little bit pretty here. Simple does have the ultimate now online. The Omen being completely baited out. I don't think that they have spotted him out, but Shy Guy's positioning is still very much known. They have no idea what's waiting for them on the opposite end. The spray comes in from the sides, and Tightrope comes in for the big save too. They do have the trades, and they have guns in their arsenal too. 2 guns towards mid, and Simple with a big ultimate. He needs to make sure he stays alive. As long as he lives, that's gonna be perfect for him. Cyrax in the corner. One in the back too. Look at where Tightrope's positioning is. I don't think they know exactly where Tightrope is. As long as Tightrope stays very much alive
Last
here,
player
he needs to
standing.
find 1 kill. He's gonna be able to get in with the stun coming in from Black.
Chaos.
Setup's good, and now they're going in for the full rotation. 1 on the left. Tightrope. He's playing the mind game, and he finds the headshot too. The man's movement is just incredible. He cannot miss. The mind games that he plays is fitting for the cipher that he utilizes.
I mean, I could sense the panic coming in from the corners of Valorant. The moment he heard the doors open, he's like, okay, I'm done for. I need to peek here. I have to peek even the main as well. Oh my god, 2 angles, what's going on? And then later on, the silver lining was Tightrope's mind games. My god, this guy's built different, man. On a next level that nobody can even compete at this point. Went ahead, unknown, unchecked, got the 3rd frag there towards A main itself, and then later on just capitalizing onto that door. Nine. What can I say? He's literally left the enemies in tatters. Look at them, not even having a perfect weapon in their hands. It's just mere pistols. They're going on eco at this point.
Now Simple's ultimate's also being popped. He's trying to stop him from going in, doing something big here. Nightfall being invested. That's a good amount of information already. 2 players down, dusted. They know exactly where the last couple of players are. They're missing their shots though. Vicious, you need to be careful. Zero comes in with a run and gun. The Phantom doing its work. 8 to 12. As LTE, you can see smiles on their faces. But for ARJ, a lot of frowns. They need to be turned upside down if they want to try and go in for a comeback. They need to get their momentum ready.
This is the second time that Oblongata literally thought, you know what, I should not belong here. And that guy is having a tough time. Ooh. Unnoticed. Cyrax, but still he has gotten the frag. Timpo sadly has to depart. Gonna be a next round for him. Currently it seems like ARJ, they're on redemption. They want this particular round onto their name. And they're moving towards side A. Mid is also being contested at the same time. Oh, this can be big. Black is waiting for the right opportunity. Knows that the player is there towards his spot. Natsu! Get that perfect frag! And he is gonna go for that compromisation of the position of the opponents. Tightrope, position revealed, and he's jumping it out. He's running away from that corner. And so has
He got a
Natsu
kill?
done the same thing.
What?
Yeah.
Zeno's getting 2 with a Phantom at this range?
Man, this guy is capable of doing both the things, you know. Long range shooting and short range run and gun. He's capable of both.
How are we down on a 2 versus 3 situation when we
seconds
started as a 4v5?
Everything was
This
falling
doesn't
right
make
for the
any
concept of
sense.
ARJ. Yeah, indeed.
Last player standing.
No,
Okay,
no,
I'm wrong
not
with that.
this.
Zeta to the rescue. What has he got? Can at least reveal the position of the players. But he wants to
One
go
enemy
ahead for the dry
remaining.
peek. Gets the first one, gets the second one. No! A
It's a
Blongata!
haunt.
Ooh! He should have actually committed. Should have committed with his utility, but nope. He wanted to go in for the dry peek itself. Got lucky with the first one, but not the second. Zeta also coming up with some surprises here. The entire team is filled with surprises, man. What am I talking about, Zato?
They're coming back in towards this game hard. 9-12 though, ARJ, they do have a taste of victory, plus they have 4 big ultimates online. You could say that, yeah, the Omen ultimate is not that big, but no. When you're going in for a seaside execute, you can use that ultimate early and go straight towards the back. A lot of players kind of forget that that Omen ult is extremely powerful, not just to gain information, but also to gain proper spacing. Cyrex, realizing a good chunk there. Black does take a back seat towards Natsu. They need to worry about a couple of the players that are towards the mid side. The door now being opened up. Vicious in a good position to try and stop them, but regardless of it, there's no space just yet. And LTE, are they opting to go in for a full-on save? Because trying to go in for the execute just yet, it's not going to be looking that good.
They should have done that. But instead, they're committing. They're going ahead for it. Prophet is getting the perfect position at this point. Those frags are very crucial. Shy Guy, even though he was the one who opened the door, he doesn't want to go through it. He doesn't want to go through it, but eventually he has to depart. It's going to be Zato, the last man standing. Nothing left. He can just go ahead, at least spoil the game from the corners of ARJ, because 5 weapons going for the next following round can be deadly. So if it drops a weapon or 2, it might be great for the team.
They have
Has the
courage,
haunt still. I don't know
but
what
no one is immune.
is the entire thing that he wants to just keep the haunt in his pocket. He doesn't want to reveal it, doesn't want to utilize it. Even in the previous one, he could have easily gone in for that, but ultimately paid the price. Currently, the timeout just to figure things out onto how to get the 13th on board and seize this particular map onto the name as well. With a scoreline of 2-0. That's still one step away. What do you think they're discussing here, Aggie?
I think the main thing that they're discussing is their aggression. They're taking fights a little bit too harshly, and they're doing it on an individual level. They're expecting that, hey, you're able to out-aim them. Why don't we just keep on doing it? But the team is now currently in a state where they're playing so predictably that they're falling apart. It's not working out for them at all here. ZRJ, they have utilized a lot of big ultimates, but they still have the trash to play around with. Oblongata has been a hero for the roster. But one player can only do so much, and for LTE, they don't really have buys going into this round. They need to farm up as many of their ults as they possibly can and make that last round count. Zeto's 1 away from the Nightfall, and Black is 3 away from a Rolling Thunder. Those 2 ults in proper combination with one another will be the pinnacle of a lot of their strategies moving forward for the defensive side. That will allow them to play in a lot more of a reactive fashion. I'm really hoping that it's going to work out well.
Hoping for the same.
Oh yeah! Monster on the loose!
Zato and Nitro being the anchor for the side A. They're just checking all the corners. ARJ don't want to make any mistakes whatsoever. Zato just waiting for the right opportunity. Prowlers on check. Oh, they get the information. But the information is not yet received of the player, which is very close. Oh, this can't be the demise. Simpo also has been taken away. Zato, he's prepared. He's amped up. Get the first. And he's going to be committing the Nightfall as well. Information has been retrieved. That Nitro. What does he have to do? All down to Black.
And Nightfall was used too preemptively. I don't like this. Black can, yeah, maybe get 1 or 2 kills. He needs to guarantee 1 kill at the bare minimum. He's able to find it, so even if he dies here, it's completely fine. Black has the ultimate. Stun comes through. A flash towards the left. He still has a lot of ample amounts of utility to try and survive this. Does he have enough time, though, is the real question. I don't think he does.
It's an
This is
easy
going to be very
defuse.
close.
It's an easy
Oh, he
defuse.
actually gets it.
Oh my god!
Defenders win.
LTE! Out of nowhere, Black! Oh my god, I just can't get this thing wrapped around my head. Nope. No way, man. Ain't no way. Black just did that. Oh, what a marvelous try from his end, and he executed. He knew where the opponent is gonna peek. Peeked at the same spot, got the frag, and afterwards, the timing, man, the timing. I guess it was 1/10 of the second where he could easily get that diffuse downright done. Laugh tail, oh my god, a victory and a sounding number 2-0. A landslide victory here. A very well fought match coming in from the corners of ARJ, but it was not enough at all. It was not at all enough. Aggie, what did we just see, man?
We just witnessed a good game of Valorant, I would say. Both teams played their hearts out. I'll personally say that ARJ did phenomenal here. This was a lot more of a close showing. I'm not even talking about the scoreline, I'm talking about the rounds in general. Yeah, it was what? An 11-13 scoreline victory coming in from the members of Laughtail, but this was a well-fought victory as well from the members of Laughtail and ARJ. They defended well, they were able to adapt, their utilization of utility was perfect, and Laughtail, they made a lot of mistakes that were being capitalized upon by the members of ARJ that was not being done on the similar level when we are looking at the map of Ascent. On Ascent, it felt more like ARJ were winning rounds because they were getting lucky in certain situations and Laughtail were making mistakes. But on Lotus, they were being proactive in certain situations. They understood where the rotations would be coming in from, but they were not having a similar level of gameplay when they were on their defensive half. Their attack looked a lot more cleaner, which is kind of sad at the end of the day because we need to bid this team farewell. They were improving, they were adapting, but it was a little bit too late. Because on Lotus, when you lose a bunch of rounds, especially a round like this, mind you, where I can't even fathom the fact that Black, he was expecting to lose this. He didn't use any of his utility, kept his Rolling Thunder in check, and he still got the round. It just goes to show that under pressure, players can make mistakes. Even if you're cool, calm, and collected, and Oblongeta, after being in so many clutch situations, just cracked under the pressure. They made one small mistake that cost them the entire round.
True that. I mean, the way the entire Dizzy came in from one corner and the peak from the other corner, he could have waited it out. I mean, come on, you have to go ahead for that half diff, and it takes some time for you to diffuse a spike as well. So he should have taken his own sweet time and then peaked it up. I mean, of course, what bat would have happened? The time would have been stalled even more, and that would have been the best part. At least when he's parting ways for that particular round, at least part ways in a good term, right? But that didn't happen, and later on you could just see, like you mentioned, Black was just waiting to keep all of his utilities, all of his ultimates as well in his pocket for the next following round. So that when the retake comes in, when the post-pass scenario comes in, he can go ahead and utilize that, or even get the spacing towards the map. So he was just waiting for that, but eventually he hit his shots, man. He hit his shots, 3 frags, and all 3 were in different levels. Like one, Raze was standing, I guess, in heaven, and he literally went ahead, got that shot downright done with. And if Oblongeta might have just swung at that point, he would have gotten the frag. A trade would have been perfect, and still we would have seen another round coming in. But eventually, it is what it is, man, at this point. But yeah, let's just go ahead and look at the individual, plays of all of these players, and let's just look at the scorecard.
Looking at the scorecard, you can tell that every single one of these players played their hearts out. Zato, though, making a very surprising comeback here. 21 kills, 16 deaths, and 13 assists for this man. 271 ACS. He did play incredibly well. But don't forget, it's an ACS rating. That's why he is the series MVP. He is the match MVP for this one. But look at Tightrope on the opposite side of the spectrum. The man's got 23 kills. He had 31 on the first game. On the second game, he has 23. So he is guaranteed the series MVP. But Cyrex, he deserves a round of applause.
This dude has been through a lot. He has single-handedly turned a lot of rounds around for his team and then lost out on a bunch too in the process. It's tough, but you need to take loss and possibly later on down the line when we have more tournaments, just hit the ground running with your squad. AR Junior, they have a lot of brilliance on this team, but they need more time. They need a lot more time and a lot more scrims to iron out their flaws. Cyrix being crowned the MVP of this match, not really the biggest of surprises because he's been getting a lot of clutches and 10 first kills, mind you, on a race. So he was doing his job as an entry, and he did it beautifully.
He did indeed. I mean, a job well done from the corners of AR Junior. I mean, like you mentioned, Aggie, that this team requires more refinement, and that is going to be the case. So, for now, we have to part ways. We have to bid them a farewell. But moving on, it's going to be this team of Laughtail, man. These people are built different. I mean, the way they were just going ahead. But yeah, looking ahead with the series MVP, definitely we are going to see a new face here. It's going to be Tightrope. Man, this kid was insane. Map 1, map 2, you never know where he is, what he's going to do, what his next move is. I mean, he's just going with the trend, right? Never know, never let your opponent know what your next move is. And this guy just gave a perfect example. Being Cypher, being KJ, he has just played that role perfect.
The Sentinel is where this man will always shine. And being in the lower bracket, like I kept on telling you that the fact that Laughtail is in the lower bracket doesn't mean that they're playing badly. No, their opponent has just had a little bit more time and a little bit more experience to go in for setups like this. But we can talk a lot about Laughtail, but you can see their journey moving on down the line too. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I want you all to check out the links down below in the description to check out the big sales that we have at Flipkart, and make sure to hit that like and subscribe button as well, because we still do have another set of a best of 3 for you guys just in a little bit. We're going to be restreaming that soon enough, and if you want to get the notification bell early on, so make sure to hit that bell down below too in the process. But for now, it's going to be your boy Aggressive with the Zora signing on off for the AMD Presents Flipkart Back to College Cup Season 1 powered by ASRock, Acer, WD Black, and Portronics. We'll be back with you real shortly with another 7 minutes.
Want a curved screen, high refresh rate gaming, and don't want to compromise? Well, the ASRock Phantom Gaming 27-inch 240Hz curved monitor is here to deliver. In the box, we've got our power cable, HDMI and DisplayPort cables, and a rugged stand. And finally, the ASRock Phantom Gaming monitor with an impressive 27-inch curved 1500R VA display. This makes for quite the immersive experience, especially in competitive games like Valorant, which demand higher refresh rates. Diving into the specs, this monitor goes up to 1080p, sports a blazing fast 240Hz refresh rate for silky smooth gameplay, and HDR10 support for vibrant lifelike colors. It covers 90% of the DCI-P3 and 113% of the sRGB color spaces, making those visuals pop at a max brightness of 300 nits. This is great for picking out enemies in low visibility situations. It's got a rapid 1 millisecond response time with MPRT mode to keep motion blur in check for perfect aim, and dual 2-watt speakers built right in just in case you don't have your headphones on you. For connectivity, this monitor is equipped with 2 HDMI 2.0 ports, 1 DisplayPort 1.2, and a headphone jack. The stand is solid with swivel and tilt adjustments, but there is no height adjustment. However, it does support VESA mounting if you want to customize your setup. The monitor also sports ASRock's low blue light technology, so those long rank up sessions are a little easier on your eyes. Additionally, FreeSync Premium is also present on this monitor, preventing screen tearing at unstable frame rates. Overall, this monitor does exactly what it says on the box. Super fast, high refresh rate gaming for titles like Valorant to give you the competitive edge you need. Today we've got something special for AMD users. The ASRock B650 Live Mixer motherboard. Packed with features and support for AM5 processors, this motherboard is a statement both visually and specs-wise. As an AM5 board, the ASRock B650 Live Mixer supports both AMD Ryzen 8000 and 7000 series processors and will continue to support all AMD CPUs until 2026. Whether you're upgrading or building a new rig, this motherboard has you covered. Power delivery is robust with a 14+2+1 phase power design, ensuring stable and efficient power distribution. For memory, it sports 4 DDR5 DIMM slots with support for 6400 plus MHz speeds when overclocked. Expandability is key in any build, and the B650 Live Mixer shines with 3 PCIe 4.0x16 slots and an M.2 key E slot for Wi-Fi modules. Rear I/O is great with an HDMI and DisplayPort connector, 14 USB ports, out of which you get one 3.2 Gen 2 Type A port and a 3.2 Gen 2x2 Type C port. Those with blazing fast internet will be happy to see a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet port at the back. For audiophiles, it features 7.1 channel HD audio with the Realtek ALC897 audio codec and Nahimic audio enhancement. Whether gaming or watching movies, you can expect immersive audio quality. Storage solutions are top-notch with one blazing fast PCIe Gen 5x4 M.2 slot and 2 PCIe Gen 4x4 M.2 slots. Additionally, it also has 2 SATA 3 connectors for additional hard drives or SSDs. All in all, the ASRock B650 Live Mixer motherboard is loaded with features that make it a formidable foundation for any high-end PC. Whether you're a gamer, a content creator, or just looking for a powerful system, this motherboard checks all the boxes.